Woodward Sports Network. Let's go!
Yeah, on a snowy, weird morning here at Woodward. It looks beautiful outside though, Joey, but like right behind you, it's Christmas time all over again.
I hate all the people on social media going off like, oh, it's about to be like 10 inches of snow tomorrow. And then you wake up and it's like, oh, this is all we got? Okay.
Well, all we got. Art, how long did it take you to get into work this morning?
It took me like an hour and 10 minutes. So
What's normal drive?
35 minutes.
Well, I'm glad you drive safely. I mean, when you're driving the side streets, let me say, because the highways probably weren't cleaned up in time.
Oh, the highways, 75 was terrible. So
Really?
if you're coming from like Waterford, Holly area where I'm around, take your time. Watch out for idiots and don't be on your phone. It's crazy how many people are so stupid, like, and are still on their phone when it's a mini blizzard outside. I mean, sure, we're only supposed to get like 2 to 4 inches, but still. Stop putting your makeup on. Stop putting your phone on. Set your phone down. Don't be an idiot.
Thank you, Art. This PSA brought to you by Art.
Well, for real.
Was it bad on the freeway this morning?
Oh, it was terrible.
Yeah.
And like the one thing that, well, you know what really grinds my gears is when you've got those big 4x4 trucks that think that they're like, you know, gravedigger on the road and just want to run my little Kia. Like, I still have to make payments on that car. Please.
See, what about the little hoopties that try whipping past you too?
Yeah, I noticed that too. That is true. That is true.
We got to say good morning to everybody checking in on Facebook Live right now, everybody checking in on YouTube, and everybody on Twitter. Thank you so much for waking up with the Morning Woodward Show. My name is Stick, to my right with a beautiful scarf on this morning.
What's going on? It's Corey.
And to my left with a nice polo.
No beautiful scarf today, though. It's Joey. Good morning.
What's up, Joey?
How are you guys?
Good, man. How you doing?
I'm awesome.
Yeah?
It's going to be a good day.
It is going to be a beautiful day here. You want to kick it off with your news real quick?
Yeah, so the Lions, it is crazy. I never thought I would say this, but the Lions can't stay off national headlines. This is crazy. One thing after another. Yesterday, a big day. The Rams cornerback coach and Flint native, Aubrey Pleasant, is added to the Lions as a secondary coach / passing game coordinator.
So he's going to do both sides of the ball, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's I guess he's gonna. It kind of makes sense after I started thinking about him, like passing game coordinator. I'm like, hey, he may be able to point out a few things.
Yep.
So, yeah.
And then the big addition to the locker room. This is one that I'm excited about. At first, I was like, wait, is he coming to play football with us? Dude, Staley. He's been wanting out of the Eagles organization, and he's going to be joining as an assistant head coach and running back coach for the Lions. How do you guys feel about that one?
I mean, we're about to get into all of these hires coming up, but I love the Deuce Staley hire. There's some interesting things surrounding it, though, that I can't wait to talk about. It was a really strange situation in Philly on why he's here and why he chose to be here. So we'll talk about that coming up.
Yeah. And then yesterday, the Pistons got a big win over the 76ers, 119-104.
Yeah.
DeLon Wright having a career game, his career high, 28 points. And we had 3 players over 20 points, so you know that's a good game.
And the Pistons were +6 on that. So if you were smart like me and went to my bookie and put down $50 on the Pistons, you did pretty well last night. And if you go to my bookie right now and you enter promo code Woodward, they will match up to $1,000 of your deposit, half of it. So you put in $1,000, you get $1,500 back to go and do it on the Pistons like I did last night. My bookie. Thank you so much. I cannot wait to cash out on the Pistons getting their 4th win of the season.
Cashing out.
Cashing out.
Worst team, but it's okay. We're getting better.
Hey, you beat the #1 team in the East. What more do you want?
Exactly.
Hey, I'm with it.
The other big news in college basketball, and sadly a team that we're not going to be seeing for a little bit on the court, Michigan basketball ranked #4 on the coaches poll.
The Fab Four.
#4.
Love it.
And Detroit Red Wings, they got a game tonight. They're only 2-4 in the season, but still looking really good. It's kind of like the Pistons organization. They look good, but the record doesn't reflect it. They're taking on the Dallas Stars at 8:30 tonight. And one big local news that I wanted to give a shout out to was Chick-fil-A opening 2 locations Thursday, Shelby Township and Northville. I'm going to be honest, I haven't heard a single word about either of these locations, and now they're open on Thursday.
I saw an article about a Portillo's opening up, too. You guys ever been to Portillo's?
That was like years ago that one dropped on the east side, right?
Yeah, but I guess it never really came. I don't know. There's a
weird.
new one supposed to be opening up.
I've never been.
I love those Chicago beef sandwiches. That's the only thing I like about Chicago is their beef sandwiches.
Yeah.
And their beefy women.
I've heard about the Italian beef. I haven't messed with it though.
Oh,
yeah,
it's good, man.
Good for you, Corey.
It's good.
Once you learn, though, once you go Italian beef, you never go back.
Right.
All right, there it is.
There you
And
go.
then the way we got to end this Woodward Sports Update today, marks 1 year of the tragic helicopter crash. So we remember all of those on the helicopter, along with obviously Kobe Bryant and Gigi Bryant. And you see Corey with the shirt on today. Can't believe it's been a year.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. Like, I was thinking about it this morning when I was growing up. My mom would tell me about where she remembered where she was when JFK was assassinated. Like, she was in high school, and it was a moment that stood out in her life. And there's very few moments, I think, in our lives. Like 9/11 is one of them, where everybody kind of remembers where they were. And honestly, like, Kobe Bryant, you remember where you were when you found out what happened to Kobe Bryant. And Art's over there shaking his head, and he's not like the biggest basketball head on the planet, but that's how much this didn't just affect like the basketball community. It affected the world, like literally the world. They were doing stuff in Italy and China. Like, it was crazy last year when you found out. And I remember sitting at my desk, and that's when I found out. And you couldn't believe it. Because Kobe was always just bigger than life and larger than you expect that you don't expect that to happen to anybody, but you never expect it to happen to a Kobe.
I think I heard I can't remember what the anchor name was, but I think he said, if you gave me a list of 10,000 people that would have died that day, I would not have had Kobe Bryant on that list.
Yeah, because he seemed invincible. You know what I mean? Like bigger, like life just didn't affect Kobe. And, death is one of the craziest things. Anybody who's ever been through it with a family member or anything like that, it's literally the only final thing on the planet. Like, everything else in the world you can make up for, you can come back from, you can apologize for, but death is just no, he gone.
Especially hearing the way that he went out, because at first it was kind of all right, this kind of leaked, but then it was like, wait, is this really real? And then it kind of a little bit of time went by, and then it really hit. And for me, it honestly took a couple days for it to really sink in to where I was like, wow, this is for real. There's no more Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
It was wild. I remember when I got the message, I was doing a photography event, and my friend Ant sent it to me. Ant sent me the link, and I'm like, hold up. Ooh, TMZ posted it. They don't get deaths wrong at all. And I just that's my favorite player. So I was just kind of just stuck in. My cousin, who's the event I was shooting, she was looking at me, and she's like, you look like you seen a ghost or something like that. And I showed her, she's like, no, that can't be real.
Right.
And then it started popping up on everybody's phone, and then she just stopped the event and said, let's just address the elephant in the room. Because everybody was just kind of
yeah.
She was teaching an event, but everybody kind of checked out.
And that's exactly what I was talking about. Like, it shut down events. Like, people, whatever you were doing, you stopped in that moment and you tried to absorb that weird news. And the way they went out, too, in the private helicopter that he always took to avoid traffic in L.A. He had chartered with all the time, but that day it just was a little more foggy than normal. And then they were in the valley, and who knows exactly what happened when they were in the air. But yeah, I think back to you watch those movies from the 60s, like La Bamba and stuff, when rock stars used to die in plane crashes, and it's so sudden, you never really experience it. This was really the first big name of my lifetime to pass away in that way.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen and heard stories of many of other celebrities and athletes. I think Roberto Clemente was one, if I'm not mistaken. And just it's just kind of, even today, it's still just kind of mind blowing. It's it was a meme that was going on, you just be okay all day, just normal, out of nowhere, just damn, Kobe?
Yeah. Yeah, Art, I mean, like I said, it affected you, and you're not the biggest basketball fan in the world, but it trickled down to your life.
Yeah, and truth be told, Kobe actually had a lot to do with MMA. Dana White and Kobe, they had that body armor sponsorship, and he was part of that sponsorship. So right before he died, he was actually getting ready to do a lot more with the UFC. What really impacted me with Kobe wasn't so much his basketball, which that's what he's known for. It was that he was a humanitarian. What he did for not only other players, but the youth in general, was just something that can't be replicated very easily. You know, you could talk about how great he was, the points he put up in a game. All that stuff goes away after a while, and you think about what contribution to humanity did someone provide? And Kobe was one of a kind when it came to that.
Yeah, and one of the positives that we can look at that's come out of his death is the whole hashtag girl dad trend. Like, you saw men standing up, and now they're, before it was, I never want a girl, I need a boy, need a boy, need a boy. And now it's like, if you got a girl, you're proud as hell because of what Kobe showed. You don't have to raise a girl to be like, frilly or whatever. They can be badasses just like the men too. And even though that should be self-explanatory, for some reason, after Kobe died, people like really took ownership of having daughters.
I started the hashtag girl uncle after that.
Did you?
Yeah, like it's one of those things, because when I first found out that I was having a niece 2.5 years ago, it was one of those where like, man, I wish I had a boy. But then obviously you grow to love her, and then when Kobe does all this with the whole making girl dad thing, it really makes you appreciate it a little bit more as being on that side of it.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, the work he did with Gigi and the way that she was training her, like, she was going to be a force to be reckoned with, and she like took on all of his mannerisms, like on the court, sitting and watching games. They didn't go watch normal games together, like, oh, just being I don't want to say a normal girl, but she was just intense in the game, always asking them questions. They pointing out plays. It was just like, it was wild, and I could go on about this. It was just.
Someone in the comments I posted, actually, Kendra said someone even created a Kobe and Gigi out of the sand on the beach. I've got it in the background there. It's just the
tributes.
Okay,
wow. It's just
for real. The tributes that Kobe
Yeah.
and just Gianna had all across the world was some of the most amazing, beautiful pieces that I've ever seen in my entire life, for real.
Yeah.
There's even some in Detroit, and it's like, you look at the amount of talent that this brought out, it's crazy.
I will say one thing. Out of all of those tributes, I had fortunate enough to was able to go to the All-Star game last year, and all of the tributes that they had there that you've seen and you did not see per se, though they were just amazing. Like, I don't know what's going to happen in my journalism career moving forward, but one of the highlights was I was in the room when he was named a finalist for the Basketball Hall of Fame, and when they renamed the All-Star game trophy in his honor. I still got that video, so that was just like. And shoot, he's on the freaking credential, him and David Stern. So
yeah, Corey comes rolling in today like with credentials. I'm like, what do you got credentials on? He's like, Kobe's on it. So,
I kind of want to see what that is. That's so awesome.
That is awesome.
yes, Kobe and David Stern on the back of it.
That's amazing.
So obviously, it's the 1 year mark. I don't like to say anniversary because anniversary to me are like celebratory.
Yeah.
But it's the 1 year mark of Kobe passing away. We had to address it on the show just because of the impact he's had on your life. And I mean, honestly, he was the biggest athlete on the planet when he passed away. His family actually asked the NBA not to do a bunch of ceremonies for them today, which I thought was interesting.
I can understand it. It's the way that their death is never easy, but the way that they passed, it was just like, it's still a sore wound. And just I think it was like about less than a week ago, his wife Vanessa, she posted that she's still somewhat in a dark spot.
Right.
With it, she's holding on for the
It
other
takes
3
years.
daughters, but she's in a dark spot, and she doesn't want to relive it. She doesn't want anybody to be showing any of the crash sites, which some people have tastefully done in bad taste. And I can understand that she just doesn't want to. She's been through enough already in 1 year. She doesn't want to keep going through it again.
Right.
That was what was so disgusting about it, is not only when TMZ was reporting it, they had to be the first one to get the picture of the site, but then there was actually people that were trying to go to the site to take pictures. Like, there just gets to a certain point of just like disgust.
Strange. Yeah, it's strange. Who would want those pictures anyways?
I will say, in TMZ defense, I don't know if they're the ones who leaked the pictures, but they did report it first.
Yep.
And Harvey did come out, and it was confirmed that they got permission when the LA sheriffs and them, they were trashing them, saying TMZ didn't have permission to do that. It actually came out that TMZ did. They had the information for 2 hours before it actually was announced, and they sat on it until Kobe's representative said, "You got the green light to go."
Wow.
Post it.
Especially news that big.
That's awesome. Rapali's in the comments right now saying during the riots last year, the Kobe murals were left alone. So that's like, you're burning stuff like, that take a step down here. No, let's get Bill's party store. So, yeah, we had to touch on it. Obviously, it's not something that we want to, like sit here and be sad about all morning. But, it's news, it's sports, and that's what we do here. So
I will say this, to kind of lighten the mood a little bit, of all the teams that Kobe played against, and he got his highest totals against each team. The lowest was against the Pistons. He only dropped 40 against the Pistons. Everybody else, he gave them hell, but the Pistons, the highest his lowest high was 40.
yeah, and just to name off some of his accomplishments: 5-time NBA championship, 2-time NBA Finals MVP, NBA Most Valuable Player in 2008, 18-time All-Star, 4-time All-Star MVP, 11-time NBA First Team, 2-time NBA Second Team, 2-time NBA Third Team, and there's more. I could keep going, but Kobe Bryant, phenomenal athlete. So glad we all got to watch him play in our lifetime.
The most eerie thing about it was the day before he passed, LeBron passed him to move to number 3 on the all-time scoring list, and Kobe's last tweet was congratulating LeBron.
That's a class act right there, man. That's a class act. Well, we're going to take a quick 15-second break. We're going to be right back. We're going to ramp it up a little bit and talk Lions, because the Lions have been adding. I think they just hired 10 more people while we were talking about Kobe Bryant. So we'll take a quick break, and we'll be right back with Lions Talk. All right. Lions. I mean, they've used the term retool, but holy hell, the amount of coaches that they've just hired and getting rid of their starting quarterback, it's officially a rebuild, and we're trying to keep up to date. Poor Corey, you can't sleep anymore, can you?
I'm over here trying to make this stick says, hey, make this tree, and I'm making it. Tree doesn't save. I'm over here trying to get all these stories
Sure,
up.
dog ate my homework.
Oh, yeah.
I own it, but man, it was just like after each time they hired a coach, it was like DJ Khaled, another one.
Literally.
I'm like, it was. But I just gotta say this: the hires have been impressive. I've done some research on them, and it's like, each of these guys that they've hired, you can see the impact that they've had on the previous team in some shape or form. So I'm really I want to drink the Kool-Aid, but I'm just like, let me just see how it plays out first. But regardless of however it translates on the field, Dan Campbell's going to have a hell of a staff to take the field with.
And, that was one of the things that was said about Dan Campbell when he took the job. Hey, a lot of coaches are going to want to go coach for this guy. And it's proven to be pretty true.
Can I hit with some kind of breaking news that broke on our social media yesterday?
Of course.
So Ian Rappaport actually put out this article, and it was something that I got a hold of, and then I ended up sharing on our Instagram. I think actually you shared it too on Twitter.
Okay.
He put out an article saying that if Darrell Bevell was the coach, Matthew Stafford would still be here. And I ended up sharing that. And Kelly Stafford actually commented on this.
Oh.
And she said, my Woodward sports people, I'll let you in. This is not factual.
So why'd you retweet it, Joey? What are we doing here?
So that whole article that he had out there, not true.
Joey just quietly undoes the retweet.
No, I left it there. It's a trusted source. Yeah. That's it.
Honestly, that was my theory going into it, though. Like, I would believe that if somebody told it to me, and somebody did, because that was, to me, the signal of the rebuild. And that was the signal of, hey, Matthew, do you want to stay here through another entire rebuild, or do you just want to keep this thing rolling and hopefully we can get you into a good situation?
Yeah.
But that is funny because Kennedy Broadwell, who does the Baligian and Bell, she texted me that also last night, and she's like, hey, just in case you guys want to talk about this tomorrow. And then I responded, I'm also seeing tweets that this is a lie, so I don't know what to discuss. And that's kind of the world we live in right now, especially with so many people with limited access to locker rooms and access to players and all that. Like, you're just getting a bunch of writers that are trying to get clicks.
But he's one of those sources that you kind of trust a little bit more than the rest.
That's how they get you, Joey.
I will say sometimes that's the one thing about sources. You can be a bad source. It's unfortunate. I've been on the other side of that before. I thought the source is really, really solid, and It wasn't.
But
it
when you
wasn't.
got that blue check mark, though, you trust him a little bit more.
yeah, that's real. That's real.
No, you can't trust a blue check
No,
mark,
you
Joey.
can't.
No,
I mean,
The internet. Still the internet.
You know who you can trust? Dave Birkett, the Lions beat writer, because he's got kind of like the inside source, and he's going to be on with us at 9 a.m. to talk all things Lions. I really want to get his perspective on like just the buzz in the building. Like we know we're going to go through who they hired, so we kind of know all the background information on those guys. But I want to know how the culture shift is feeling.
I mean, just looking at some of these guys they hired, and one of them, I looked at Aubrey Pleasant. I think that's a good hire. We'll talk about that in a second. But the Deuce Staley one really stuck out to me because he has so much respect from the Philadelphia players and just around the league. And the fact that he was passed over so many times for the head coaching position, and then they hired the coach offensive coordinator, I think it's Nick Sirianni.
Serene.
As the head coach. I honestly don't blame him for wanting to get out of Dodge because it's like, how many times are you going to pass me over and I'm the longtime assistant there?
And that's kind of the controversy that's going on in Philly right now. You know, obviously with where we're at with the country and stuff like that, and we've talked about race relations on this show and how 70% of the NFL is black, but there's not that many head coaches, not that many GMs, not that many people in position of power. And that's what they're saying. That's part of why Deuce just left, because he didn't leave for a better job. He left for a parallel job.
Yeah.
Especially to leave that organization
but-
where he spent so much time in there.
Right. But the thing in Philly is they're saying the reason he didn't get those jobs is because he's black.
You know what? I hope that is damn sure not the case.
Right.
Because he's more than qualified. But the thing is like, when it happens so much, especially to him in that position, it's like,
I mean, he was there 10 years under Andy Reid and then under Chip Kelly. I can understand the Chip Kelly hire.
Yeah.
The Doug Peterson hire is kind of an extension of Andy Reid. So you can kind of understand those hires. This last
this
hire,
one
though,
was
yes.
like, though, like, come on, like you're bullcrap.
And that's why he's like, that's it. I'm out. Like, fuck you. You're cool. Like, I'm out.
Yeah, I think that was definitely the straw that broke the camel's back. Like you said, the last two you can pretty much justify it, you can sell it, but this one, and then also he had the backing of the players and the team, so they burnt the bridge. I mean, and I don't get it.
You look at how much time he spent there. You know, he played for probably 5+ years with the Eagles, 7 years with the Eagles.
Yep.
He was there for 10 years as an assistant.
Yep.
It's like, what more does he have to do for your organization? And who knows what really is the truth behind it? But looking from the outside in, this really wouldn't surprise me, which is horrible to say.
Yeah, Philly's a weird place. I mean, let's just be honest. Philly's Philly, so you never know what the hell's really going on there. But the fact of the matter is, the players respect this guy. He should have gotten a look at a head coach at some point. I've never even really heard him like rumored to be the next head coach of anybody.
I will say this, you know what? Kind of think about it. It doesn't really surprise me. His name slips my mind right now, but they did keep a receiver on the team who got caught on camera dropping in bombs.
Oh, Cooper Riley.
Yeah,
Riley Cooper.
Yeah, Riley Cooper.
Yeah.
So, I mean, granted, you know, he was on his personal time or whatnot.
Granted, he was on his
personal
personal
time.
Get out of here.
Get out of here.
At the end of the day,
You know what, Corey? I just want to let you know, the minute I walk out this door,
Yeah.
it's my personal time.
But-
I get to be as racist as I
yeah,
want
that's
to
what I'm
be.
saying. It's like,
Just professional for these 2 hours on the show, though. That's
Yeah,
it.
these 2 hours, no racism. As soon as I leave this door, racist.
But that's how they treated it. They were just like, oh, you
Don't
know,
be a Marlowe
they sent
stick.
them
Come
home
on.
they sent them home for a week, and then he comes back and everything is all kumbaya and good. That shows you what the organization is about.
Yeah, that's a weird situation. I'm so glad I wasn't in charge of that organization at that time. And honestly, like, why keep that guy around? It's not like
He should have been cut immediately.
he's not a transcendent talent. You know, he was having a decent year when that happened, but damn, like. Yeah, that does show their barometer of bullshit, you know?
Listen, whether or not the Eagles like black coaches or not, I know in Detroit we welcome them because Deuce Staley is a guy that you hear time after time that his energy in the locker room is amazing.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we need because that was my biggest fear. I mean, yeah, you look at our new coaches, there's some great leadership there, but we need someone like a Deuce Staley that can come and bring that heat that the players respect.
Yeah, I don't care what color you are. You could be orange as long as you bring that like purple. I don't
Be a
care.
Simpson.
Yeah, be whatever you gotta be to get us a winner here in Detroit. Like bring an alien in, let them call the plays. Like I don't care what we have to do. It doesn't matter to me what color you are. It's the quality of the human being. But with that being said, the Lions are making a ton of minority hires.
Yo, I'm not gonna front. I love it. I mean, I love it because
I'm rooting for the home team,
because we, let's just cut the crap. Black guys do not get the opportunities to get these head coaching jobs, these general manager positions, these coordinator positions. Well, they're getting more coordinator positions now, but the head coaching jobs and those GM jobs, the discrepancy is there. You can see it. It's literally black and white.
The numbers don't lie.
But one more thing on this Deuce Staley hiring, he has his own drill at the combine. The Deuce Staley drill, which works on speed, the speed and elusiveness, and it was credited for elevating the game of Ajayi, Matthews, Darren Sproles. Now I'm excited to see what kind of work he's going to do with DeAndre Swift.
Yeah. That's going to be a good look, man. There's a lot of people that I'm excited to see what they're going to do with DeAndre Swift. I mean, if we're done talking about Deuce Staley, we could talk about Anthony Lynn. Anthony Lynn, the new offensive coordinator for the Lions, he spent 4 years as the head coach of the Chargers, and this is exactly what I said I wanted on the Dan Campbell roster. You're an inexperienced head coach. You haven't really ever called a play in your life, so stack the deck in your favor. Bring in head coaches with experience as your OCs, and that's exactly what he did as our offensive coordinator. When Anthony Lynn was the head coach, he was 33-31. He did win a playoff game with the Chargers, and not only that, he was part of coaching up Herbert, who we saw he did pretty well this year. And then
So he'd coach up Justin Fields real well is what you're trying to say.
I'm trying to
Go
say
ahead.
he could.
Go ahead.
And you can't forget Austin Eckler, who Swift is a better athlete than Eckler. We can agree on that, right?
Yeah.
So I would expect Eckler-esque numbers out of Swift if we keep the same offensive scheme.
It's just crazy, too, when you look at, you're saying pretty much a first-time head coach. I know he had his interim time, but for him to be able to assemble a team like he has, that really makes me excited about the future.
Well, like we put into earlier, Saints GM Mickey Loomis said this to Rod Wood about Dan Campbell. Dan is the kind of head coach that coaches are going to run to Detroit and want to be on his staff. To his point, so far it's not just been, of course he had to fill out his staff. He's going to have to fill it out with somebody, but it's who he's filled his staff out with. And you check the resume of everybody that he's hired so far, they got damn good qualifications.
I mean, as we run down this list, it keeps getting better and better and better and better, and experience and deeper, and that's what I love about this is he's surrounding himself with people that have been there and have done it.
Imagine getting a letter of recommendation like that.
From your old boss?
Yeah, that's like you look at that level, whereas me, when I get these jobs, the only recommendation I got is my manager up at Subway.
I give you a recommendation, Joey. I always root for you.
Thank you, man.
Who else do we want to talk about on the coaching chart? I mean, do we have anything else on Anthony Lynn that you want to go over? I'm excited to see what he can do with our backfield and how he's going to use our offense. The only knock I really have on Anthony Lynn, outside of Keenan Allen, they really never developed another wide receiver for the Chargers. So, they did have Mike Williams, who, big dude, 6'4", monster, can jump out of the gym, but he never really turned into what he was supposed to be when he was that first-round pick.
Yeah, I will say that is a big knock on him, but what I do think is that he's going to come in here with a chip on his shoulder because, granted, he's our OC now, but I'm pretty sure he wants to get back into another head coaching gig somewhere, so I think he's going to do his all with our wide receiving core and whoever is going to be our starting quarterback next year.
Yeah, go nuts, man. Put the pedal to the metal.
That's all you got to do.
That's all you got to do. Let's switch sides of the ball. You want to go with Aaron Glenn, our new defensive coordinator. That was named over the weekend, but he was named, then he was not named, then he was named again. But the good news, once again, with Aaron Glenn, he had options, and he chose Detroit.
Yeah, and another thing, so sad to say, the Lions had the 31st pass defense last year. The Saints had the 5th. And I know we're going to talk about Aubrey Pleasant in a second, but to be able to have him come in and he's going to be working with the secondary and just the defense as a whole. And he's a 3-time All-Pro, 3-time Pro Bowler himself. I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the work that him and Pleasant are going to be able to do with Jeff Okudah. And you see Jeff Okudah tweeted last night that he's excited because he's going to be surrounded around some competence.
The crazy thing, too, you look at our coaching staff right now. I don't know how we're going to perform on the field, but I would take our coaches to whoop anybody's ass across the league. You talking Dan Campbell, Holmes, this mean-looking dude like our squad.
Deuce Staley.
Deuce Staley. I'm not messing with them.
And Deuce is huge now too.
He looks like a big boy. He got fat.
That's okay. You're allowed to get fat.
You wouldn't say that to him.
I would.
Joey would say,
I would beat him in a
"Man,
race.
check out my belly. Ain't like yours though, Deuce." That's how you get away with it. Like Joey does that nice insult to you, like, "Oh man, I'm fat," but you.
I even get by calling a pregnant woman, talking about a pregnant woman.
Aaron Glenn, he was the secondary coach of the Saints. 15 years he played in the NFL. So that's the one thing we also talked about. Not only coaching experience, but in-game experience. Like, these guys will be able to relate to players a lot of ways that a Matt Patricia never could.
And the thing is, it's not just that he played. He's not just a Pro Bowler. He was a 3-time All-Pro. Pro Bowl is fan vote. All-Pro means that your stats is your numbers. You were at the upper echelon 3 times. That's pretty damn good.
That's great. That's great.
So who better to learn from than him?
And you got to give it up to just the leadership that we have right now. And truthfully, I feel like Spielman is a big play in all of this because it's like realistically, the pieces that we're getting assembled right now, I mean, we look at it and it's like, okay. And then you do more research and it's like, damn, okay.
Right.
And it's just one after another.
This team really is starting to shape up like Chris Spielman's personality.
On paper, they look like the most competent Lions staff I've ever seen.
Oh, by far.
Yeah, just right now in the vacuum. So I'm just really curious. The big question mark for me is just what they're going to do in the draft, and of course, who's going to be the QB next year. But I mean, that's going to come in time.
It will. So we got John Dorsey, who is also announced as part of the organization. Doesn't really have a specific title. It just says predominant role.
Well, they did get the title. It's Senior Personnel Executive. So he's going to be working with Brad Holmes on the roster.
Which I like because Brad Holmes has a lot of experience scouting college kids. Dorsey has a lot of experience getting free agents and obviously with his draft picks. Pretty damn good.
So both of those, with Brad having a reputation of being meticulous with his draft boards and being able to find talent in the later rounds, and then the same with Dorsey being able to just find talent in general, that's going to be really key. Dorsey is credited for building the Packers. He was credited for taking Aaron Rodgers, Clay Matthews, Greg Jennings. You go to the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, Kareem Hunt. You go to the Browns, Baker Mayfield, Denzel Ward, Nick Chubb.
Oh God! Stop!
He traded for Jarvis Landry and OBJ, even though OBJ got injured.
Dude, for real.
It's the fact that he...
And then watch him come here and then we get a bust.
Jelani Tavai. No, but when I was going through all of his draft picks, I was just like, Jesus, one of these drafts could set the Lions up for 5 years of success. Like, even that draft you just mentioned with the Browns, Mayfield, #1 overall, then Denzel Ward, who, if you don't know Denzel Ward, he's like a quiet assassin out there. Like, he's not a loud cornerback. He's never going to make a bunch of noise, but he's shutting people down daily. Daily. And then he goes and grabs Nick Chubb in the second round. So you have your starting quarterback for the franchise future. You have a shutdown cornerback. And then you get your starting running back who is just a monster. All within 2 rounds. Like,
is that luck?
No, because you go back and that's what Aaron Rodgers, Clay Matthews, Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. It's Tom Brady luck if it's luck.
For real.
And you know what's crazy? He got a whole lot of crap for taking Baker Mayfield and not getting Saquon Barkley, and then saying Baker Mayfield could have been there where Denzel Ward was. Well, I mean, look at where the Chiefs are now. I mean, you can't argue that he made the right move.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not in love with Baker Mayfield by any stretch of the imagination, but he's similar to Stafford. You can tell he's going to be their guy moving forward for the next 8 years. Like, unless he does something crazy stupid or completely regresses, but he's progressed every year he's been in the league. So, yeah, if we could get one draft like that, just one draft, and that's what I'm saying. If they could trade Stafford and get another first-round pick, and then we get to do the old 1-2 like that.
And it's crazy, but I mean,
I'm exhausted. I'm spent.
When you really look at like the Baker Mayfield, like think about how much he brings really to the organization. Like that dude is freaking killing it all over commercials and ads too, on top of all that. So it's like that guy's a freaking beast all around.
Yeah.
I gotta say, I'm Team Joey. I want Justin Fields. Like, I know you keep mentioning it. If we that would be incredible. Like a young quarterback to help with the rebuild and start fresh. I mean, I didn't expect there to be so many changes in their organization. Did you guys? Like, did you expect with this rebuild to change everything? Because it seems like they're going top to bottom.
Not with their initial message. Like their initial message, and then kind of what Adrian Peterson hinted towards was, we just kind of got to add a few pieces here and there, maybe change things up a bit. They're like, nope, re-rack it. Let's go.
I'm with it. Just go ahead and tear it down. And the one thing I did like is when I wrote the article about the top 5 best picks for the Lions to grab at GM, Holmes or Dorsey were my 1 and 2. I wanted Dorsey as long as he could not pick the head coach, because Dorsey can't pick a head coach.
That is his one Achilles heel.
That's his Achilles heel.
Yeah.
Picking head coaches.
Yeah.
But the fact that they have both, and both are going to be working together, I'm excited.
I love this. Whenever people are bashing Justin Fields in the chat right now, and Corey's on there, Art, name one successful OSU quarterback in the NFL. There hasn't been one. Forget Fields. And, like, I get that, but to me, that's such a poor argument, because, like, you could have said that about Tennessee before Peyton came out of there. You could have said that, I mean, like, there's just so many colleges you could list about a great quarterback coming out of there that they never had before.
New coaches, just everything changes.
Right.
Like, I get that on paper you could look at that and you can say that, but every single player you got to take differently. I mean, if they're all under the same coach, maybe you could, but there's new coaches, new players that they're around. Everything's different. That means nothing. Dumbest thing in the world.
Also, too, you got to I pulled back on this a little bit after I just started doing my. I knew the homework, but I just looked at it again with different eyes and took the fandom out of it. Troy Smith was small. Terrell Pryor had issues. Haskins, right? Mm-hmm. Issues.
Yep. Yep.
I mean,
Cardale
not
Jones.
issues. He just loves strippers.
Yeah.
Like we can all like, hey, Haskins, you're good.
Cardale Jones, no.
Too big.
No. It's just, you got to judge it case by case. The guys were good in college, but when they got to the league, I mean, a couple of them were too full of themselves. It just is what it is. The only thing with Troy Smith was that he was just too small. It wasn't that he wasn't good enough. He was just really small for the league, and he took his L's.
Right, and you can do that literally with almost any college anywhere. There's very few colleges that put out elite quarterbacks consistently. Like, Texas. Who's ever come out of Texas that's good? Colt McCoy? No. Vince Young? Okay. Like we could do this all day.
You have a bad quarterback. You keep putting out bad quarterbacks until you get the one.
Yeah, that's it. And that's all that we're talking about here. Is it doesn't matter that 4 million years of bad quarterbacks were before you. You just got to be the one that changes it. And if Justin Fields is the only one in Ohio State history that comes out to be a great quarterback, like Michigan hasn't turned out many great quarterbacks, but they turned out the greatest.
Chad Henne.
Exactly.
The chat is talking about.
And here's the thing about it. Tom Brady was not great in college. He was good,
right?
But he wasn't great. But he ended up becoming great in the league.
Yeah, I think the laziest take on anything is ever, well, they have the teams before them couldn't do it. And it's like, what the hell does that have to do with this guy? Like, honestly, what does that have to do with the current players on the roster?
Not a damn thing.
Not a damn thing.
And here's the only thing I want to add about Lions fans, that it's kind of weird. Lions fans have, and I might need to write about this. Lions fans have a false sense of entitlement for some reason. It's like, oh, we should be this, we should be this. No, we should have got this coach. No, we should have got this coach. No, you be happy somebody wants to be here.
Right.
Don't say, well, we didn't get this guy. We didn't get this guy. Who the hell knows? Maybe that coach didn't want to come to Detroit.
The biggest false sense of entitlement for all Lions fans is believing that 9-7 wasn't good enough.
You know what surprises me?
That's the biggest.
That's what's crazy about this is that like that's the record that I'm hoping that they get to this coming up year. Now,
Right.
obviously, it's a pipe dream. Like you got all these new changes, you're gonna have adjustments, but 9-7's not a bad record. Do you want 0-16 part 2?
No,
like, is
but
that
you,
what you want?
always, you can want better than 9-7 and
Yeah.
try and get better than 9-7.
But you got to be here before you get there. You can't just be like that's the thing. Like nobody wants to build the culture of 9-7 is our new standard. Then we go up from there. It's 9-7 wasn't good enough. Caldwell can't coach. He peaked. It's like no, you're an idiot. That's the problem.
I mean, now looking back at it,
Oh yeah,
I'll take 9-7 all day long.
Well, and
it
that's the
could've
funny
gone
thing.
both
The people
ways.
that'll argue with you,
For sure.
I got history on my side now. You look like an idiot.
Absolutely. But it could have been
Here's
the
the thing.
flip side, and you could have looked like the idiot. I know it's not that way,
Right.
but I mean, you can't knock them for wanting to be better than 9-7.
Here's the thing: you want them to be better than 9-7 because 9-7 cannot be a standard moving forward. Because depending on what year it is, 9-7 may not get you into the playoffs. We've seen it.
Right.
However,
sure.
at the same time, with the Lions are doing right now, they're building a whole new culture. You cannot go into this new season with the same PTSD when the Lions are not making the same dumb moves that they made before. You cannot look at what they're doing right now and say that this is the same old Lions moves, because these are not same old Lions moves.
Nope.
This is the most competent football coaching staff I've seen them put together. You may not like the head coach or whatever, but who's surrounding the head coach is all quality and competent coaches, and they are experienced and have, skin in the game. So allow that to take the field and see what it is before you just going like, same old Lions, we're gonna suck this year.
That's
Just
the
let it
laziest
happen.
approach.
Just let it play out.
Well, and my thing is, let 9-7 be our new basement. Like, that's the thing. We got to establish that as our basement and quit pretending we're competing for championships every year. We're not even competing for playoff positions. And once we start competing for playoff positions, then I'll raise my expectations, not saying, oh, they don't fucking win it all this year. That's awful. And it's so crazy to me, that mindset of 9-7's not good enough. It's like, you obviously haven't watched Lions your entire life if 9-7 isn't good enough for you at this point.
Can I ask why Adam is writing 14 paragraphs in the chat yet he can't come in here?
Because he's a keyboard warrior. This is what we get out of
Seriously,
him.
pound the
He's
table
only
in
good
your
on the
real life.
keyboard, Adam.
He's literally in here defending Vince Young.
Writing
Like-
Stephen King novels. Like,
Yeah.
literally 4 paragraphs. Adam, get in here and talk on a mic.
We're
Listen,
talking about
that's what trolls do. They type and want you to talk about them. That's it.
Yeah, the fact that he's in here defending Vince Young, saying he would have been a good quarterback had this not
Please
happened. It's
come
like,
in here, Adam.
no,
I need
he
this.
wasn't a good quarterback because it doesn't happen. He wasn't a good quarterback because he wasn't good.
And
That's
we
what
would have been
happens.
Super Bowl champions if we got Tom Brady
Right.
and Gronk and.
He just said no because there are 3 mics. I'm giving you right. You gotta come in here, Adam.
No, it's fine. I like Adam in the chat. That's where we need to keep him quiet, and then we'll address him when we need
In
to
the
address
cave.
him. Yeah. Otherwise, he's going to be in here going Donkey Kong on everything.
He said you guys are such bitches. He's heated.
Yeah.
Stay out, Adam.
Yeah, we're the bitches, but you're the one that's talking online. Like,
Takes a bitch to really call someone else a bitch.
ah, jeez. So yeah, Adam's going nuts in the Facebook chat right now. Anybody that's watching on Twitter or on YouTube, if you want to slide over to Facebook, or if you're watching on Facebook, want to slide over to YouTube and subscribe to us, please do that right now. During our show yesterday, we got like 60 new subscribers. So let's keep pumping that
awesome.
YouTube up, because YouTube, that's where we need to be, baby.
Heck yeah, it is.
So shout out to everybody that's watching us right now. We'll get back into this. I mean, we just talked about John Dorsey. We talked about where the Lions are. This is bothering me, Corey. Come here.
Oh, crap.
See this fuzz? Can you see that fuzz?
Oh wow, that fuzz really just
Dude,
messed.
it was like it's been on his
Stick out
beard
the
for
worst
like.
ADD in the
man, I know.
world.
Sorry, I am. I can't.
Is it that spot?
I love it, man. They take care of me here.
Yeah, that's right. We got to keep you looking clean, man. And shout out to Tommy Walker yesterday.
That was great.
If you missed yesterday's show, Corey was wearing, what was the call letters?
Kappa Alpha Psi versus everybody.
Kappa Alpha Psi versus everybody. And we had to make sure that it wasn't some knockoff gas station versus everybody shit. And we like Joey calls him out, and then 10 minutes later I'm like, hey Corey, is that real? And turns out like Tommy Walker was on Corey's comments yesterday saying, no, he's got like the original of the original of the first one ever.
We need a Woodward Sports versus everybody. Tommy, if you're watching this, that would be like the pinnacle, wouldn't it? That'd be awesome.
I'll put in the call.
Yeah,
That
put in
would
the
be
call.
dope. That's the thing. Like nothing worse than when you're wearing knockoff merch in front of the people that actually created the merch. It's like when we had the Pistons come in studio and they launched this badass 313 line, right? And all of a sudden I'm like, under my hoodie I got this knockoff gas station 313, boy. And it's just like, what do you do?
Quit buying knockoff gas station shit.
I mean, at the time it was hot seller.
At the time it was a hot sell. Like the Detroit hats with the D that's like this
Right.
big on it.
Or just the packs of white T-shirts that you could buy, like assorted colored T-shirts. I love it.
When I went to University of Detroit, like right across is the Pied Piper. That's the name of the party store. And like you would go, you know the Pied?
I lived on 6th and Linwood.
Oh, okay, so you know the Pied. Like you go in there, man, you could get a full wardrobe, get a razor to cut your blunt, like, and a 40 and be out of there. And like every time you bought a blunt, they'd slide you a razor across the counter too. Like I couldn't pop that shit with my fingers.
Oh, snap. That's funny.
Yeah, I love the Pied Piper, man. We used to get food there. Like I was 17 rolling up in there getting liquor.
Taxes.
The Detroit party store, liquor store is the most resourceful place in the world.
Yeah.
They used to have like a mini like studio out front selling CDs to you as you walked
Flint's
in.
the same way. Like it's that culture. It's like you could get fish there, catfish. You could get all the liquor that you could ever
Get your
dream
lights
of.
turned
Like,
on.
yeah.
I feel like we got to do this topic real quick. What have you bought that was fake in your life?
Ooh.
I feel like I got to call myself out, and I'm going to lose a lot of respect for this.
Uh-oh.
Throughout high school, I had these pairs of J's, some Jordan 13s.
You had fake Jordans.
Them boys were fake.
How'd you
Oh,
get fake
no.
Jordans in high
So
school?
someone hustled me, and they sold them to me, and I paid. I should have known. I paid $60 for some new Jordans, and I should have known that these boys were fake. So they were the Jordan 13s. I buy them from one of my boys in high school, $60, and then someone came up to me and they said, "Yo, those ain't real." And I looked, and I was like, "The hell, they are real." And I ended up finding out that they were fake, and I went back to the person, and I ended up getting my money back. But it was like 6 solid months of me rocking these J's, thinking that they were real.
The Jordan logo was looking a little thick.
Yes.
And I was like, and no, it was something like with the bubble or something that they could tell. And I was like,
Oh,
man,
yeah.
Something
I
with
didn't
the
know,
bubble.
so I get a free pass, but that hurt so much. It hurt.
I'm trying to think. Like, first of all, I don't buy designer shit anyways. So
Right.
I don't fake. Like, I'll wear the Levi's and the Wrangler belt. Like, I've literally had this belt for 30 years almost. It's from Structure, a store that doesn't even exist anymore.
We could tell. Don't worry.
Yeah, thanks, man.
We know a lot
We
about
can
your old habits. Like,
Thanks, guys. Appreciate that. But I will say this. Back when I was playing baseball, knockoff Oakleys all day long. Everybody had the knockoff Oakleys.
Really?
The Jokeleys.
Really?
Hell yeah. You go on spring break to like Panama City and you'd buy like 10 pair for $50 or something and bring it
Especially
back.
sunglasses. Like, that's one thing that no matter what, you always get the free pass on. Sunglasses are way too expensive, unless if it's like buffs or something like that. You
and
can't
you
get
lose
knockoff
them.
buffs.
You lose them so easily.
Right.
Yeah.
Corey, you ever buy knockoff stuff?
No.
That's right.
Never.
Man of integrity right
Never
there.
at all.
Man of
No,
integrity.
because the thing is, my ego would not be able to handle getting clowned for wearing some fake stuff. So I just like, if I can't afford it, I just can't afford
Like
it.
that Kobe shirt. It's got the Nike symbol on the back.
No, this is not a knockoff Kobe shirt. This is a
dare
personally
you.
made.
You personally made that?
No, not me. My somebody I know, the black athlete on Instagram. He's selling them.
The black athlete on Instagram. Which one?
He out here
No,
selling
that's,
them.
that's the name of Instagram. The black athlete.
Joking with
No.
you, Corey.
All right, well, I'm the only one that gets knockoff.
Okay, well, back to the Lions. Ray Agnew, assistant general manager. He worked with the Rams. He actually worked with Holmes, and now he's the assistant GM. He's been in the NFL for 11 seasons. I don't know a ton about him.
Yeah, I did some research. I didn't really find much on him. I just know that he was the Rams director of pro personnel, and just a lot of tweets I've seen about another huge loss for the Rams. I mean, it's like their whole team is just leaving them,
right?
In their from their coaches to their front office personnel. So he has a relationship with Brad Holmes, and that's good. He brought his guy with him, so at least he's going to have some familiarity at that assistant GM position.
Yeah, and I mean, we're hiring a lot of assistants. Like, you know, we got the head coach, then we hired the assistant head coach. We got the GM, now we got the assistant GM, which is fine.
These are positions that always exist, right?
Yeah, but I just feel like we're hiring so many people. Like, it's just, we keep bringing on, and some of these roles are kind of new, like the Chris Spielman role, kind of new to the whole, you know, I don't know.
I truthfully think he's the backbone of a lot of this, though, so I'm okay with that.
No, I honestly think he's the driving force. Like, the attitude of a Dan Campbell and, like, all these football guys wanting to come here, I think that has a ton to do with Chris Spielman because, you know, that's a big fraternity. And those guys, like, they respect each other, especially if you played like Chris Spielman played when he was a Lion and when he was with the Bills.
And also just reading this right here, Agnew is a 11-year NFL vet with the Patriots, Giants, Rams, rose up in the ranks to the position that he just had right now. So it's good that they're staying true to their word. They're bringing in football-minded people to help them change this culture.
And how do you feel the culture shift happening, or is this just us all caught up on the high of the Dan Campbell ripping kneecaps off and the excitement of all the newness?
No, because I believe that even over when they hired Matt Patricia or when they hired Jim Caldwell, nobody got excited about, oh, he's bringing this guy, and nobody got excited about that. You're seeing actual younger football minds coming into the organization, and all of them come with some credentials of being former players,
right?
And having the coaching experience and the front office experience. So that's, for me, is different. It's something to be excited about, because when you're starting to build this team from the ground up and you're talking about drafting the players and then coaching them up, you want them to be with people who have some true skin in the game.
And when you look at this season, I mean, we can't just do all of these coaching changes and not mess with the personnel, because I feel like the players now, I mean, there's a lot of pressure on them to draft right, but when you look at who we have in place, they are the leaders that are the ones that are able to make the right draft picks happen. So I hope that we continue to see this, because I hope this isn't just a short-lived high off of, oh, man, look at all this excitement that we're getting, because now we obviously need the players on the team to make this happen.
Right. And that's the key now. Like, we got the chefs in the kitchen. We got to get them the groceries to make a hell of a meal.
Exactly.
And if we don't get that part handled, like, you know, there's a lot that goes into this, but it's nice to have a little bit of comfort in knowing that these guys actually have some brains on their shoulders, actually have some football knowledge behind them, and actually have just a lot going on with the NFL and how they've been.
And just to add something in there, I think the one hire that is going to be really beneficial, that is, people are not really going to see the impact immediately, but they'll see it over time, the Aubrey Pleasant hiring. That is really significant. The Rams had the top passing defense last year. And also, he's a homegrown guy. But then the really big thing, here's some of the guys that he worked with: Aqib Talib, Marcus Peters, Jalen Ramsey. He also helped the games of Troy Hill and Darius Williams. And Jalen Ramsey has had nothing but high praise for Pleasant. Here's what he said: when you need an ear to listen, he's there for you. When you need somebody to tell you the truth, like right or wrong, he's that as well. He also said this: in my opinion, this is the best body work that I've put out in the NFL, and that a lot of that thanks is to him. He has the skill set to be a defensive coordinator. That guy is coming in. He's also worked with the then Washington football team, now the Washington football team, coaching intern with the Browns. He was a assistant defensive back coach with the University of Michigan. Before he got to Michigan, they were ranked 119th in total defense. He got there, they rose to 17th, and he was working exclusively with the defensive backs. So
who was DC at that time? Was that?
You know what? Is that English?
Was that Ron English?
I think Ron was at it was coaching Eastern at that
time.
I could
Okay.
be wrong.
Ron is who I wanted to get that head coaching job, like for Michigan after Lloyd Carr left, but obviously that didn't happen.
And he came to my school. I don't like Ron English for a few reasons.
You got something personal, probably.
Yeah,
right?
Oh, he is personal.
But I mean, the thing to all that, I mean, that was just a long history of success.
Yeah.
And now we got to see it. I mean, that's the biggest thing to this all. Like, we got what we need.
Right.
Now let's actually see some things come to fruition, because we got the Jeff Okudah that needs the help. So let's see what he's going to do with him to make him a better player like a Jalen Ramsey, and just across the entire secondary.
Yeah, so, I mean, let's run it down again. I mean, these are the new hires within the past, 5 days. Anthony Lynn at OC, Aaron Glenn at DC, John Dorsey, what's his official title again, Corey?
Senior personnel executive.
Okay, then you got Ray Agnew, assistant GM, Deuce, my man Deuce, assistant head coach, which is an interesting position that he took a lateral move to get here.
Y'all think I can't beat my man in the race for real?
No.
Oh, dude.
Come on.
That guy may be big now, but he's still running sub 540, man.
He will
Yeah.
tackle you and still beat you.
See,
Yeah.
but like Joik, he's out of shape, right? We all know that.
Oh,
But when you
you
see
won't say that
Deuce,
to him.
that's like next level status.
You won't say that to him.
Yeah, come on. I saw Joik. He showed me a video of him playing ping pong shirtless.
What?
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Wait,
what?
that is OnlyFans?
Like, no.
That was the
not
most
like that.
random comment of the day so far.
We showed that video, but this kind of funny how he brought it up.
What you?
Wait,
Come on, man. Don't make it
you
listen.
showed it?
No, we showed it on the Baligian and Bell.
Yeah.
Joik playing shirtless?
I mean, it was
what
just
the hell happens at 11 to 1 around here?
He was playing ping pong and his shirt happened to be off. Is that better?
I mean,
It's the
a
same thing.
Yeah, was there a subscription attached to it? Like, is this some weird OnlyFans
It was
thing?
$4.99 a month,
Watch
right?
Joy play ping pong shirtless. $9.99.
Do you have the video on
I
you, Joey?
don't have a video of him shirtless on my phone. I'm just saying.
No, you got it saved on your TV. Okay, let's.
So let's
You
get
can't
back to
save
this.
shit to your
Joy's
TV,
playing
dumbass.
ping pong shirtless. And how did you see the video?
This is beyond the point.
No, this is the entire point.
He's making it worse than what it actually is. Funny, he's just funny.
What?
I'm asking how this came to be.
We were in the
I
bathroom
was
together.
talking. Listen,
You just wanted to show me the video.
I was talking shit to him about my ping pong skills.
Okay.
And he says, "Yeah, right. You don't want none of this." Well,
Joik versus
I'm
Joey
done.
shirtless ping pong competition. Let's
I'm
make it
done.
happen.
We gotta. Will you play him shirtless? Because that's the only way we play ping pong around here. Apparently.
yeah, dudes being shirtless doesn't matter. Okay.
It doesn't bother me at all.
It doesn't. I'm totally comfortable.
I'm comfortable
Totally
with dudes
comfortable.
being shirtless too, but I'm not comfortable with a dude coming up to me showing me footage of him doing things shirtless while I watch. Like, it's okay. Like, we had a dude in here working yesterday. He took his damn shirt off and took a bath in that like
He
tub
literally
over there.
did.
I don't believe that. Like, I don't. I
This-
think.
yeah, this-
I feel like you know how gullible I am, and you guys said the story, and then he walked by, and I was like, oh, I believe it.
No, it's 100% true.
For real.
But I didn't take a picture and a video and then show art.
No, that's
funny if you
creepy
did.
if you were the one to have done it. But if he just so happens to be shirtless in this video, who cares? That's not the point. The point was his talent on the ping pong table.
But you brought it up like he was shirtless. Like that's an
Yes,
added value to
because I'm saying that I got to see his body and what he looks like.
you. Just I'm gonna turn your
Should I
mic
stop
off,
right
bro.
there?
Need the
I
mic
gotta
to
stop
go.
right there.
You gotta
don't I?
stop, bro.
I gotta stop right there.
And how did his
make
body
it-
look, Joey?
Y'all look real good. Real sexy, Joy. Gotta be honest.
The grave is getting deeper.
I gotta be honest. Joik is a sexy young fella.
Nice.
Like y'all make this so weird. Like, dude, we can't talk about
We're
a
not
dude
making it
shirtless.
weird, bro. We're not making it weird. No.
You're making this weird. If you're not comfortable with another dude shirtless, like really,
Mitch in the comments goes, I love dude packs.
for real.
Corey, were you
Man.
there?
I wasn't there for that.
It's like saying when you're in the locker room, you're telling me you never grazed at another man's balls. All right, that was a joke. I was kidding on that one.
Corey's gone.
I
Corey's
tried
gone.
getting you both off the set on that one. It didn't work. No pun
Speaking
intended.
of looking at men's
Off
balls,
the
how are
set.
you, Adam?
Welcome to the studio, Adam.
Mr. fucking
Hey, he had nothing to talk about, so we have to come in here.
No, I have to make sure you're fucking screwed.
Everything's going great, Adam. We're doing great.
Yeah, why don't we do this? We'll take a quick break. We'll come back. Dave Birkett is about to hop on the line. We're going to talk more Lions today. I'm loving to hear his insight on, like, because he has a little more ear to the grindstone than we do right
Yeah.
now, and he knows about the culture that's in the building, what it was, what it's turning into, and that's where I really want to prod and poke him on that. Not like Joey wants to prod and poke him. So we'll do that coming up next.
Not Dave Birkett, though. Joik only.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10 and a half months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
Hire a graduate
of Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Welcome back to the Morning Woodward Show. My name is Stick. To my right, Mr. Corey Woods.
What's going on?
I didn't mean to steal your thunder. To my right,
Corey.
sorry. And to my left,
Joey.
And producer Cam, we got Art and Adams back there. Fish is in the building. Maz is here. And we got Dave Birkett, Lions beat writer, that's about to hop on the phones coming up next. And we've been pretty much covering the Lions all morning long. And we really haven't even touched on Stafford yet.
That's the crazy part. Is like there's so much news around the organization that, you know, the most recent news is not even really hitting us yet.
Right. And Stafford, obviously, yesterday, Kelly Stafford put out that, I don't, was it kind of like a goodbye? Is that what it was?
It was more so just like, listen, I want you guys to all know that I'm going to be updating you guys first before you got to hear.
Before you got to hear it from outside sources. Do you want some water, man? I got you. And that's what's really been interesting about this is because they've been such a big part of this city for so long. We have kind of, like, with Kelly, the way she is and how boisterous she is and how outspoken she is, you kind of get to see behind the curtain a little bit of, like, not only her relationship with the city, but her and Matthew's relationship, because Matthew's never been the guy that's really hopped on the mic and, like, been loud, been boisterous. She's kind of taken that role.
He doesn't even have any social media.
Right.
So she's the, you know, if it wasn't for her, we wouldn't have any kind of, like, you know, inside scoop on the Staffords.
Right. We got Dave Birkett on the line. Is that what I'm hearing, Art? Yep. Hey, Dave. Welcome to the Morning Woodward Show, man. Thank you so much for being on with us this morning. Obviously, I'm sure, as you know, Corey's been going nuts trying to keep up with the news. I can't even imagine what your days have been like lately. How you doing keeping up with everything?
I was just telling a friend of mine that covers another NFL team that this is the busiest I've ever been. It feels like the last 3 weeks. When the Stafford news broke the other day, I was in Toledo. My daughter had a basketball tournament.
So Dave, you've been crazy busy with all of the news. You know, obviously we announced like 15 hires today. You know, running down the list from Anthony Lynn, Aaron Glenn, John Dorsey, Ray Agnew. You got Deuce, and then of course Aubrey Pleasant. How have you been keeping up with all this chaos?
I was saying that was look, when the news broke the other day, I was actually in Toledo. My daughter was playing in a basketball tournament. We were between games, going through the drive-thru at Chick-fil-A, talking to just a coach, and I was like, oh snap, got to go do a little bit of work now, and so it's been the busiest couple weeks of my life. But hey, this is the major crossroads for the organization. New coach, new GM, new quarterback. We'll see what happens going forward.
And how are you feeling about the culture build that they're doing? Like, do you feel the energy shift in the building while you're there or while you're reporting on these guys?
Well, I mean, it's a little early now. I mean, look, I think Dan Campbell, his message hit home with a lot of Detroiters, even, if it maybe wasn't received the same way nationally. There's a lot of people that you look at what the Lions are doing, and, they brought in a smart guy in Brad Holmes. They brought in a guy that has some of that leadership in Dan Campbell. So they're bringing the right people into the organization, but that says nothing about whether it's going to work out or not. They got to get that quarterback right first.
Yeah, Dave, that's what I wanted to ask you. From your time covering the team, where do you rank so far on paper this Lions coaching staff that they putting together as opposed to the other ones?
It's tough. I mean, look, Dan's never been a head coach before, right? So I don't know exactly what to expect. I mean, yes, he had those 12 games in Miami, and yes, he has a good reputation, as being a guy that can motivate and a guy that players want to follow. I give him credit for, some of the people that he's brought in. But Anthony Lynn, obviously a proven guy, even though maybe he's a little more run heavy than I would like, or some people would like when it comes to today's modern offenses. We'll see. But there was a lot of high hope about Matt Patricia too. He was the biggest name in that coaching cycle in 2018, and maybe not the same about Jim Caldwell because everyone here thought they were going to get Ken Wisenhunt. But even going back to 2009, Jim Schwartz was a pretty hot name. So this is not the first time that we've gone down this road of the Lions making hires that are received well publicly.
So, Dave, you're always giving kind of like the inside scoop of what you're hearing in the organization. I kind of want to just ask you a personal question because obviously quarterback's the biggest next step for our organization. We all know that. Are you hoping that we draft somebody, or are you hoping that we take somebody that's already in the league that has experience in the NFL?
Yeah, I don't know. Personally, hope I just want whatever's easiest for my life, I guess. But still in those papers that too. But no, I think ultimately the Lions are going to draft a quarterback. I mean, you look at where this roster is right now, and kind of what's ahead for this team. It looks like they have a major rebuild that they're embarking on. And so, to me, the most important thing they can get from Matthew Stafford in the trade is more draft picks and more high draft picks. If they can get a mid-first rounder, let's say, and then to use one of those picks, number 7, presumably on a quarterback to that they can build around for the future. So as things the quarterback early in round 1.
Do you see them? Let's say Justin Fields does not fall to the Lions let's say Justin Fields does not fall to the Lions at 7. Do you see them going with somebody like a Zach Wilson?
Zach Wilson might even end up being the second quarterback off the board. So I wouldn't have an issue with Zach Wilson. Even Trey Lance. Look, again, I think you look at what the Lions are doing right now, right? I don't know Lance. I've never seen him play. I've seen some highlights, obviously, but never seen him play. Haven't talked to enough people about him to have a concept of what he is yet. But you go back a year, this was a guy that was being talked about as maybe challenging Justin Fields to be that number 2 quarterback drafted. And he has some of the dual threat ability, and he's a big talent, I guess. And so whoever the Lions, whatever their flavor is at quarterback, I think, there will be options at 7, and I think they have to nail that pick. I mean, to me, this is, as I look, everything that's going on across the NFL right now, too. Aaron Rodgers potentially leaving Green Bay with the comments that he had the other day. This is as important a draft pick as the Lions have had in the time that I've covered the team, because if they get the quarterback right, there's a chance that they could, down the road, not next year, but down the road, they could be the team to beat in the NFC North.
Oh, man, how nice would that be to write about, huh?
I'm telling you, it's been a long time, right? I mean, I always joke with people. I've covered a lot of bad football in my years. I covered Michigan State when John L. Smith was there. Michigan when Rich Rod was there. I had a year before I went to the Free Press covering the Lions in 2008 when they went 0-16. So when I write the book, it's going to be about bad football, and maybe this chapter will I'll be able to end it on a good note.
Well, you have definitely earned that. Like you have paid your dues to get that as a football writer. My question to you is about Chris Spielman. How do you feel? Because I think we're seeing his imprints all over these hires. These are a bunch of football guys that just love, breathe, and want to be great. Do you see the trickle-down effect happening with Chris Spielman in this organization?
There is no doubt about that his handprints are all over this hire, and especially from a coaching standpoint. I mean, Dan Campbell is his type of guy. And look, had they been successful in luring Matt Campbell to town, I'm pretty sure that would have been a Chris Spielman hire too. Those guys are basically from the same area in Ohio. So Chris was leading this. I mean, Rodwood and Sheila, obviously they make the ultimate call, but this was really a Chris Spielman and to a lesser extent Mike Disner production. So I don't know what Spielman's role is going to be going forward, but there's no doubt that he helped them get to this point that we're at right now.
Awesome.
I wanted to ask about Deuce Staley joining the Lions yesterday. What do you think about his addition to the team? I mean, he was the assistant head coach and running backs coach over at the Eagles, and he took a parallel position to come to the Lions. Do you have any insight on how that all came about?
Well, the reports out of Philly were that he was disappointed in being passed over. I don't know if it was for the head coaching position, offensive coordinator, what he wanted exactly, but he was passed over there. He had asked out of his contract, so it's something that is still a good hire for the Lions. Obviously, he's well thought of because he was assistant head coach too. Has played in the league, so I think it can help. Ultimately, I look at what they've done on this staff as a whole: Deuce Staley, Anthony Lynn, Dan Campbell, bringing Hank Fraley back. This is a team that wants to run the football and is going to run the football a lot. I'd be buying on DeAndre Swift if I was in a fantasy, a dynasty league, and I think he's going to get a lot of touches. It's just like I said, today the modern NFL is very much a pass-first game, and Dan Campbell acknowledged that in his news conference last week. We'll have to see how they incorporate that. What sort of quarterback they get to bring that out in the offense as well.
Another question I had too is regarding Matthew Stafford. Realistically, where do you see the Lions could possibly move him to in the trade and the potential return on the value?
Well, I guess I don't know. I wrote 7 or 8 top candidates to acquire him the other day, and I put Indianapolis Colts number 1 just because you look at what they did last year. They're not afraid to deal a first-round pick. They dealt, I think it was 13 for DeForest Buckner, a guy that really helped their defense and a good player. But if you're willing to give up a mid-first round pick for a defensive lineman as good as he is, you could be willing to give up that and presumably a little bit more for a quarterback that you think could put you over the top. It's a winnable division, so I certainly could see them being aggressive to go and get him. San Francisco 49ers make sense if they're willing to move on from Jimmy Garoppolo. Remains to be seen a little bit. If they'll do that, that's a decision they have to make. And then Washington, I think, was number 3 on my list. And there's the Martin Mayhew tie, but beyond that, you've got another team that is theoretically in position to, or theoretically feels like they are a quarterback away from winning big. And the NFC is very much wide open. You don't have to go through the Patrick Mahomes gauntlet. So I would put them in the mix too. I would think the Lions would prefer to deal him to the AFC, but ultimately they're going to take the best offer for the franchise.
Awesome. Obviously with the whirlwind that's been going on with the Lions and all the news that has been coming out, what to you has been the biggest story out of all of their hires, or who are you most looking forward to following their career?
Well, I mean, look, Brad Holmes being the GM, I think he plays such a key role in acquiring the talent, and especially now that they need a quarterback, and not just in acquiring the quarterback, but dealing this one away too. So, Brad Holmes is a 41-year-old full-time GM who's never been above a college scouting director. All of a sudden, he steps into, 2 huge organizational decisions that, will have reverberations for many years to come. So, I think that's first and foremost of what I want to see happen, and obviously the Dan Campbell thing too. I'm sorry. He's I've heard nothing but good things about him throughout the process. Obviously, he doesn't have that X and O background as an offensive guy or a defensive guru, but I think he's done a good job putting a staff together so far, and we'll see what that looks like on the field over these next couple seasons.
Dude, it's got to be so hard to be a beat writer for the Lions, especially during this time. Like when do you even sleep, Dave? For real?
Yeah, I joke. I have a casual relationship with sleep normally, and these days it's even, maybe it's not even that. I mean, like I said, the last 3 weeks have been extremely busy, but that's all right. I'm a early riser, and I kind of go until I burn out, and then end of the week maybe I catch up on some sleep.
So earlier you mentioned that Dan Campbell's interview, not everybody around the nation received that well, and Corey kind of had the same observation about that. Why do you feel that message works for Detroit but not for the rest of the country?
Well, that's a good question. I think, look, Detroit has adopted that everybody versus Detroit mentality, right? And I think Dan hit on that a little bit. And Detroit is certainly, it's more blue collar than LA or New York or some of the media centers where the message emanates. And, frankly, look, there is a racial component to it too. And that, I heard from people across the league. This was written by Mike Freeman at USA Today that there are element of there are some people across the NFL who look at it and say, well, if this guy can get a job, why can't Eric Bieniemy, or why can't some of these other guys that have a better resume and Dan's news conference wasn't a typical CEO, standing in front of everyone sort of news conference. And that's the projection that a lot of NFL teams want. And so again, the thought, and I think Mike Freeman wrote about this very well in USA Today, was don't ever say that Eric Bieniemy does an interview again if this is the alternative that you're putting out. And I will say this, I think, just again in talking to people across the league, when they go about pairing head coach candidates with teams, whether it's the Fritz Pollard Alliance, whether it's the NFL, whether it's some of these search firms, it's not just about who the candidate is, it's about what the fit is in the city. And so I think from the fit for Dan Campbell in Detroit, it resonated with me. It resonated with a lot of people around here, I believe, just because of sort of, who we are as a community.
Right. Yeah. My only fear is I kind of had the same feeling when Rod Marinelli was announced. He was the sharp shovel, will to win type guy, and he got you rah-rah'd up. And Schwartz was kind of the same way. So we've had these rah-rah coaches in before, and it really hasn't worked out the way we wanted to. But what I like about the Campbell situation is who he's surrounding himself with.
It's very hard to lose the press conference. I mean, let's say that, right? Like, these people they're polished enough, they've gone through this enough that normally you come out of an introductory news conference, especially saying, wow, this guy's going to be pretty good. This is what we're looking for. He's different than the last guy. That's a big part of it too, right? He's different than the last guy, and the last thing failed, so this one has to be good. And so that's why I say I like the people they've brought in. I think they have surrounded themselves with good people, both in the front office and in the coaching staff. But at the end of the day, that only goes so far. You got to get things right in the locker room. You got to get things right on the field too, and that starts with the quarterback and who they get for Matthew Stafford and who they take to replace him.
Speaking, that's just what I want to touch on. You said that you see the Lions drafting a quarterback. They have to nail that number 7 pick. Let's say they go ahead and they do get a quarterback at number 7. Do you still see them going in free agency and grabbing somebody from free agency and having whoever they take at number 7 to maybe sit for a year or for a couple of games?
I mean, that makes sense because free agency is before the draft. You know who you're going to get. So certainly, a guy like Tyrod Taylor, right, who has a long history with him, played for him in Buffalo, played for him with the Chargers. That would make sense. Jameis Winston played with, for Dan Campbell in some regards in New Orleans. So I think there are some options out there. Who knows if the Lions trade Matthew Stafford and you get a young quarterback in return? Maybe you don't need to grab someone in free agency. I don't think any young quarterback they would get in return. Drew Lock, for instance, that guy is not the centerpiece of the deal. I still think you have to draft a quarterback. You have to find your future at that position this offseason.
Is there any way the fan pipe dream happened of the Lions somehow finagling a Deshaun Watson trade?
I don't think so. I mean, because there's a couple elements there that Deshaun Watson, number one, he has, no trade clause in his contract, so he has a lot more power over where he goes than some of these other teams or some of these other quarterbacks of Matthew Stafford. And then, I just don't know if the Lions are really in a rebuild process, right? If they legitimately look at where they're at. Maybe on some level it doesn't make sense for them to get a Deshaun Watson. I'd be for it because I think Deshaun Watson, at 25 years old, is one of the top, 5 quarterbacks in the game. But I just don't know if organizationally, when you take the big picture view, if A, the Lions would want to give up what it would take to get him, and B, if doing that, where that would then leave him with the franchise.
Well, Dave, I know you've been super busy, and we can't thank you enough for just giving us 15 minutes this morning to kind of go over some insight on some Lions talk. We really appreciate you giving us the time, and hopefully you could come back. I mean, obviously the Stafford thing is going to break eventually, and we'd love to have you back on for that too.
For sure. We'll do it again, guys. Appreciate it. You guys do a good job out there.
Thank you very much. That is Dave Birkett, the beat writer for the Detroit Lions, and just, an incredible insight on what's going on with that whole organization right now. So thank him for joining us. I always love talking to people that are, like, in the know. Like, I feel like he's got that VIP card.
Yeah, if he doesn't know what's going on, then I kind of, like, don't pay attention to it, because remember when they were talking about certain candidates didn't want to come here or they had bad interviews, and they're not even plugged into the source. They're way outside of the team, and he came out and he refuted a lot of those reports. So that's one of the top guys you want to listen to.
That's the hard part about, like, just being in the whole media world is a lot of people just want to say stupid things just to get engagement.
Right.
So it's like you really don't know how to trust who to trust. But like a guy obviously like Dave Birkett, I mean, his job's on the line. Like he is a Lions beat writer. He is the inside team source. So he's one of the best in the industry.
Well, and during that interview, we literally asked him what he would want, and he's like, "Listen, it's not about what I want.
Yeah.
Like he's about as impartial as you're gonna find
Yeah.
of anybody. He's just reporting the facts, what he sees, and bringing it right to us." So thank you, Dave Birkett, for coming on. We're gonna take about a 30-second break. We will be right back. We got Super Bowl to talk about, and we didn't even touch on the Conor McGregor fight over the weekend. And I know Art's been dying to talk about it, so we'll talk about that next.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10 and a half months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
Hire a graduate of
Northwestern Tech. Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
So we've been talking lots of football, and rightfully so. Not only is the Super Bowl happening in less than 2 weeks, but the Lions are making moves all over the place and controversial moves here. People, it's just been a fun debate all the way around.
It has, and I mean, we're looking at the future of the Detroit Lions right now before our eyes, and it's crazy because there's so many changes happening so quickly, but it's changes that, for me in my lifetime, I've never felt so good about. So hopefully this feeling actually transitions into some W's for the organization. That's all that matters.
I mean, that is really all that matters. Like, we can sit up here and feel as good as we want. We start out 0-3. It's going to be right back to feeling like, oh boy,
Yeah.
here we go again.
It like go back a couple months ago to when we got Troy Weaver added to the Pistons and kind of had a similar feeling.
Right.
This feeling is a little bit different, but it's like you have that great feeling and then you start watching the Pistons play, and then they play well, but they're not winning like you would want them to, but it's also what we expected. So it's like, it's tough because we can't just go through all this and expect all of a sudden, bam, we're going to be in the playoffs. And
Playoffs?
Bam, like, I hope for that. It's always an opportunity and a chance for that, but we got to be realistic.
No, and that's the thing. Like, be optimistic, but also be realistic.
Yep.
That's my mantra as a Lions fan. Optimistic and realistic.
Oh, so that's never gonna happen. I mean, maybe for you, but for the entire Lions fan base, yeah.
No, I know I'm the rarity. Like, I know, like, a lot of people have been beaten down their whole lives, and it's real easy to be like, these guys suck. They're always gonna suck. We can never make the right decision. And it's like, well, then just pick another team, bro. Like, it's not that hard. If they suck, they always suck. They ruin your life. You don't want to be a part of this. Like, nobody's got a gun to your head to be a Lions fan. Nobody.
I mean, I say screw this team every year. And then just when I think I'm gone, they pull me right back in when the football season starts, because it's like
1 o'clock hits.
It's just what being a fan is. And the thing is when they have that moment, and they're gonna have their moment. I don't know when. I don't even know if it's with Dan Campbell, but when they have their moment, it's gonna be glorious.
Yeah. Corey, you cleaning your glasses right now?
Could you see me real quick or no?
No, I need to go to y'all though.
See, listen, you got to go to Dr. Yeldo real quick. I'm going to give you the number, all right? It's 1-800-398-EYES. So you got to go get your free evaluation, because it was the greatest thing that I could do, because I was the same way as Corey. I take off my glasses and it's like, whoa, I could barely see. And Stick, next level worse with his.
And with mine, I'd put my glasses in my pocket. They'd always be scratched. Like, I'd break them all the time. I'd spend $500 a year on new glasses. I was just like, you know what? I just want this fixed for good.
It's an annoyance. So right now, call for your free evaluation at 1-800-398-EYES or go to YeldoEyeCenter.com.
Yeah, because if I did not know our logos, I would not really be able to make out that Woodward.
Wow. And can we point out the new backdrop? Like, isn't she lovely? Isn't it beautiful? So thank you guys. Thank you to MyBookie for sponsoring the studio. We appreciate you. Let's talk about the Super Bowl just a little bit, though.
Oh, the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, obviously next week we're going to go nuts with the Super Bowl. But this week I wanted to touch on a few things that are happening. Like, did you know how many fans are going to be at the Super Bowl this year?
Was it 22,000?
Oh, damn. Okay, never mind.
Was it? That was a guess.
Yeah, you nailed it.
That was a guess.
22,000. You nailed it.
They're actually donating a lot of seats to first responders too. With the did I take your prep now too with that?
No, go ahead.
We just both signed up as firemen.
they're donating I think it was 7,000 seats to first responders during the
7,500.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, but you're right. They donated 7,500 tickets to local hospital workers that have already taken the vaccine and have been immunized to the COVID, so they can go.
So you got to have the vaccine to be able to go to this game?
I think they just chose those people because they were hospital workers, and then you don't have to really worry. It kind of just limits the whole, we got to make sure these people are getting health checked and all that, because they're hospital workers. They're getting checked every single day.
But can't you, I don't want to, honestly, talking about the vaccine turns into political, so I'm not going to get too deep into it, but once you get the vaccine, can't you still give it to somebody else, though? You just can't get sick?
Listen, I'm not going to pretend I'm a doctor.
Okay.
No, I'm assuming.
Damn, so you can't get a Super Bowl ticket?
No, I cannot. Actually, I have the antibodies, I think. So maybe I'll get a Super Bowl ticket. So, yeah, they are allowing fans. And honestly, that is going to be the first time 22,000 people have been in a stadium in almost a year.
That is I don't know whether people are going to get the heebie-jeebies or what, but that's just going to be very interesting. And I'm wondering, that's a lot of people, how they're going to do with the whole policing with the mask and how that's going to work out.
There's going to be some
because there's going to be somebody that's going to be maskless.
Yep.
Well, that is the benefit of doing this in Florida. They don't give a shit.
Oh,
Florida's really open, baby.
No, for real. I went down to Miami and it was, COVID don't exist down there.
What's the most? Because I know, watching a couple of the playoff games, I heard 7,000, 8,000 was the highest that I heard.
9,000, I think, was the Packers, right? They had 9,000 people there. Yep. And
what's
it looked weird.
What? I want to search Raymond James.
Raymond James?
Yeah, that's the field.
Oh, you're talking about
Capacity.
where the Super Bowl's going to be?
And I love that stadium.
I thought you were talking about Green Bay.
65,000.
Yeah.
Damn, so that's 1/3 almost. Wow. Well, more than 1/3.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. No, so it's going to be interesting to see that many people in one place. I mean, I can't believe we're so far removed from normal life that this is going to be holy shit, there's 22,000 people in the same area.
Yeah.
I think that this Super Bowl is going to break records. I really do. Not only is one of the greatest performers of all time, The Weeknd, performing, I'll say that, but also it's the student versus the teacher. It's going to be huge. I think it will break records.
In what capacity? By people watching?
TV viewership, yeah. I mean, obviously, you're not 22,000 is the cap for fans, but I think it's going to break. You got to figure too, people aren't going out anywhere. People are staying home for the most part. Right. I think it might be. I'll take a prediction, say that in the top 10 for most viewed Super Bowls of all time.
Wow.
Top 10, of course, it's going to be top 10.
Oh, jeez.
More people got TVs these days. Yeah, dummy.
Yeah, come on, Art.
Come on, Art. Top 10. I think you're going to say something crazy top 2.
You know what? I'll say top 5.
10.
Top 5. I think it would be top 5. I think with Brady and Mahomes, two of the best quarterbacks in the game, everybody loves to watch Brady. I do think the halftime performance does have a lot to do with it, too.
Really?
Do you not remember Bruno Mars during the halftime performance?
It was
legendary.
The only halftime performance that I really ever remember liking was Michael Jackson. Outside of that, I don't
Prince? Do you not remember Prince?
I don't really remember Prince. I remember Pink flying through the air for no fucking reason.
Prince was cold because he did Purple Rain.
In the
rain.
It
started freaking raining for real, and he didn't miss a beat.
Yep.
That was badass.
Listen, I'll never say a bad word about Prince.
Well, he's one of the best guitarists of all time. So.
Oh, well, he played 47 instruments. He played everything.
Yeah.
But no, I remember that Michael Jackson one. I forget what year that was, but there were a bunch of fake Michael Jacksons popping up all the way around the stadium, and the production was just crazy on it. Bruno Mars was good. The Rolling Stones, when they did the Rolling Stones, they were okay.
Michael Jackson was 93.
93.
Wow.
So
You're
I was 12.
Old, Stick. You're getting old.
I was 12. And that's what I remember. That's something. Yeah. So that's one that's really
Jackson's
stuck out to me.
wardrobe malfunction.
Oh, you can't forget about Janet.
With JT.
just one.
Oh yeah.
But I have a naked body into this song.
Mike Jackson's got to be the best one. I mean, because anytime Mike performed. Anytime grown men faint when you hit a stage, that says a lot.
Who faint?
No, people faint when Mike hits the stage.
Damn, man. I couldn't imagine fainting over an artist or anybody.
I mean, it is Michael Jackson.
You ever seen those videos like when
I saw about like little girls. I never saw like burly ass men. Like,
Listen, fainting over a dude, I'm not commenting on this conversation.
No, you'll critique a dude's nipples.
Yeah,
we know where this will go.
You're gonna take it totally.
We know where this will go.
Half naked.
Is The Weeknd bringing anybody with him for the halftime show?
Does he need to? No.
No. Have you ever seen The Weeknd live?
Yeah, I saw him at the Palace. When Dave Chappelle was backstage, walked past him. Selena Gomez was there. It was one of the coolest moments ever. It was
Name dropping.
Yeah, sorry, I will. Like, it was walking by, I'm like, holy shit, it's Dave Chappelle. And then
That's dope.
One of the best concerts I've ever been to.
Yeah. No, one of the stories I always tell, because I saw The Weeknd at the Palace as well. I don't know if it was at the Travis Scott show too.
No, I wasn't.
Okay, so it was Travis Scott and The Weeknd, but this was before Travis.
He was
Scott.
open. Who was The Weeknd opening?
No, this was before Travis Scott was Travis Scott. Like
Travis
nobody
Scott.
really gave a shit.
Yeah.
It was when he had his first single out, so it was at the Palace. And the first concert I ever went to was Michael Jackson at the Palace.
Wow.
Right, the Bag Tour. And
Bro.
I remember him singing Dirty Diana, and he did it a cappella in the Palace. And like when it's quiet and Mike's voice is just piercing. Have you ever heard The Weeknd cover Dirty Diana? Mm-hmm. I swear to God, like we can't play it right now because of streaming rights and stuff. But after this show, go look up The Weeknd covering Dirty Diana. I literally got goosebumps, and it took me back to when I was like 10 years old. Like I thought I was reliving the same moment. It gave me deja vu, the tone, the inflection, how it was quiet, the lighting, everything. Same place, the Palace. It was one of the best like concert A/B experiences I've ever had in my life.
I'm telling you, like The Weeknd, because I'm a big Weeknd fan, like all the way to House of Balloons, like the old. I mean, that was classic. He is our version of Michael Jackson. He is. Like I will debate.
Yeah, you just can't dance.
That's the thing.
That's true.
You can't.
That's true.
The
Outside the
moves.
showmanship, but the voice.
You can't compete with him. I mean, the guy is just like a legend, and people respect him, but I don't think they give him his props. Like the dude is a legend, and live, one of the best performers ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, that mixtape series was just insane.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
That's when I got up on him from the House of Balloons, and then it was Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday album, yep.
And then it was just.
Someone commented and said, "I've been saying this for a while. The Weeknd should remake Thriller." Now, there's certain things you should never touch.
No,
okay,
you can't. No.
Yeah.
But
I'm
if
telling
anyone
you,
could do
I was
it,
gonna say, like, no, don't just throw that away.
if anyone can do it,
Just
or Man in the Mirror,
Cover it. Oh.
The Weeknd doing a Man in the Mirror render. Oh my.
No, I'm telling you, after this, we're all gonna sit around, a bunch of dudes. and
We're gonna watch the video of Joy
I'm not
playing
invited.
ping pong.
Yeah, we're
I'm
gonna
not
watch Joy
invited.
playing ping pong naked to The Weeknd singing Dirty
Shirtless.
Diana.
Like he was only
uh,
shirtless. And then you're just gonna see me back there just with a little hit thrust like MJ.
Joy, put a shirt on. Oh,
I'm gonna get a point. I'm just
put
gonna
a fucking
thrust.
shirt on. Oh, put it on. Come on. That's what Michael Jackson
I
singing.
thought it was there.
That
Thanks,
wasn't
man.
bad. Wasn't bad.
We're trying. So I am looking forward to that halftime performance by The Weeknd. And what I'm also looking forward to is those Pepsi commercials ending.
Yeah, Pepsi, Budweiser, and there was one other big sponsor. They're not doing
advertising
this year.
What?
Pepsi's
Yeah,
doing the halftime show.
But that lead-up commercial that I've seen 4 million times, like I don't know if I've seen The Weeknd more or if I've seen the chocolate peanut butter cookie dough.
Yeah, you like
Scoop,
that one.
There it is. Like because of football, those 2 songs now are just ingrained in my head for the rest of my life.
Can you do the dance that yesterday you did the dance with it and the camera didn't catch it? You had a certain. I mean,
You can't recreate these things, Art.
Yeah,
You can't recreate. Sometimes
French
you just
vanilla,
can't.
Rocky Road, chocolate peanut butter cookie dough. Scoop, there it is. Scoop, there it is. Like that shit is stuck in chocolata, lata, 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 lata. Scoop, chocolata, lata. You guys. Come on, I know I'm not the only one who's seen that commercial a million times. Oh, see? Vinny gets it at the
yeah,
end.
it's
They
always
just
playing.
throw it up and go, sprinkles!
I'm not with this today.
It's a show for Corey today.
I need Corey just coming in tomorrow. Scoop. There it is.
Oh, you know the Kid and Play dance, Corey? Can we do that?
No.
Because they do it in the commercial. I got that whole commercial memorized.
We need to do a Woodward Sports rendition of it. I think that would be great.
Chocolata, lata, 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 whoop. All right.
Stick comes in tomorrow like.
No, we need to get Tag Team in here to redo it with us.
There you
go. Yeah, that commercial is wild. But getting back to the Super Bowl, I am excited for that halftime performance of the weekend. But I'm also excited for kind of the rematch of Brady and Mahomes. These two fellas, the young gun and the old gun, because they met. What was that? When did they meet? 2019 in the AFC Championship, and Brady came back and kind of snatched it away from Mahomes. Like, Mahomes could be going for 3 right now if it wasn't for Brady.
Because that one, I believe that was the overtime game, right?
Yep.
Overtime. When I knew
Mahomes never touched the ball in overtime.
Yeah, I remember, because I remember when they won that coin toss, I'm like, this game is over.
Yep.
Because I don't know how the freaking Packers didn't know that, but if Brady gets the ball with the chance to ice the game, it's over.
No, you clearly kicked the field goal.
What was the score? The 24-27 Chiefs win, right? That was the score the last time.
That was week 12 of this year.
Yeah. Do you think, just predictions-wise, just right now, I know we're going to get more in depth with that, do you think it's going to be that close this time around for the Super Bowl?
Probably.
It's the Super Bowl. I feel like that's the biggest reason why.
The Super Bowl, you just never know with the Super Bowl.
You know what? It's weird because some Super Bowls I thought were going to be really good. Like, I thought Broncos and Seahawks was going to be good, and then it was an ass whooping from the opening kickoff.
Right.
So
yeah, you really just never know with the Super Bowl. That's why I love Championship Weekend probably a little more than Super Bowl Weekend.
Yeah.
Just because not only do you get 2 games, you get 2 teams that are usually familiar with each other. It's a better matchup. And then the Super Bowl is just like, all right, 2 weeks of a circus. Let these guys play football, and you never know what you're going to get.
The best man come on top. That's it.
Yeah. Honestly, with the Super Bowl, it's not always the best team coming out on top. It's just they had the best day that day, and that's all that matters in football.
That's what's crazy about football. Exactly.
Right.
Like, that's why, like, when you look at football and what Brady's accomplished in his career, and the stat that you said yesterday about the chances of Brady reaching a Super Bowl is more likely than Steph Curry hitting a three-pointer, percentage-wise. Like, that right there just shows, like, the game of football is crazy, because for Tom Brady to do what he's doing, this is his 10th Super Bowl. He's gone to 14 championships in his division. So it's like 10 times going to the Super Bowl. That is crazy to do in football, because you only have one chance at every single one of these playoff rounds.
Brady has won more playoff games than some franchises.
Oh, yeah.
Some.
A lot.
We're looking at
like
90%.
We're living in one.
Yeah, all he needed to do was win one more playoff game, and he'd beat us. Like, that's what's scary is just, he's going to his 10th Super Bowl. We're begging for a playoff win. Like, I'm almost 40 years old, and I've had one playoff win in my life.
Levels to
I don't
this.
like that. I don't like that fact.
What, that I'm 40?
No,
Almost 40?
the other fact.
I don't like either of those facts. I got to be honest with you. So, yeah. You think Brady and Mahomes, do you think Mahomes can get his revenge in this game?
No way. Brady winning it and exiting. Hitting and quitting it. That's what he's doing in Tampa Bay.
Brady, okay. Mahomes is the best quarterback in NFL, hands down. And that Chiefs offense is crazy. But so is the Buccaneers defense. And as great as Mahomes is, and I'm just going to be honest, I believe the Chiefs should win the Super Bowl. I really do. I believe the Chiefs should win the Super Bowl. Not handily, but they should win the game. Just that, as much as I believe the Chiefs should win the Super Bowl, I'm said it before, I'm not betting against Tom Brady. I every time you count him out, he shows you, gotcha.
Got him.
Do you think with the way that Mahomes throws his passes, he throws very, just crazy sometimes, the craziest passes you'll see. Do you think the chances for interceptions are more when you do that, especially during a game like the Super Bowl? Or do you think Mahomes is just that good to where he's going to get the ball to his target every time?
Normal people, maybe.
Yeah, I don't
Not
give a
him.
shit about arm angle. Like, these guys.
Stafford even got the weird little side slinger, too.
Yeah, these guys are professional quarterbacks. They get paid $40 million a year. They can make a sidearm throw. That does not concern me. What concerns me is like Phillip Rivers throwing motion, when, that type of stuff. But not, these guys. Mahomes grew up a shortstop, so that's how you grow up learning how to throw. You got to make a play deep in the hole. You come back, you throw it underneath.
Do you think he throws an interception in this game?
Probably.
You know what's gonna be interesting for me? I think it's gonna come down to the Chiefs team, Mahomes' teammates, the rest of the Chiefs. I believe Mahomes is going to come ready to play, but we've seen it before, and I've been watching the NFL mic'd ups. Other players get psyched out by Tom Brady being on the opposing side, like even in that Patriots Falcons Super Bowl. Falcons thought they had it in the bag. One of the wide receivers on the Falcons like, I don't know, man. That's Tom Brady. And they're like, no, we good. We got this. We like, yeah, I hear you, but that's Tom Brady.
Yep.
You will never see another Tom Brady interception in his career. He's coming out having a perfect game because of the mistakes that he had last game. You're not going to see that in the Super Bowl.
And then he's going to retire.
He got those out. He's going to return. He's going to come out and ball out this game. And the scary part is he has to, because you don't give up turnovers like they did last week to the Chiefs, because they just will take that ball, punch it down your throat, and repeat. So he can't.
So you said he'll never throw another interception in his career.
In his career?
That's what he said.
Because this is going to be his last game.
You think this is his last game?
Joey's on my train.
He's done.
I think, Art, you're in that camp too?
Yeah, I'll tell you my prediction. I think Chiefs are going to get it at halftime. They're going to be ahead at halftime. Brady's going to come in and close the show, and he's going to win the Super Bowl.
That's actually a bet that you could do on my bookie.
Why do you think I'm saying it?
Why do you think I'm saying it? That's where I got the idea.
But I just think he's too good, and I think you're winning a Super Bowl in your home stadium. Like Joey and I and all of us have talked about it. What else can you do, man? Like, what else can you do?
Truthfully, at even this point, I was like, what else can you do? But, I mean, he's in this little pickle, so go ahead and win it.
I think y'all are underestimating the dog inside Tom Brady.
I know, but it's just...
I can see him coming back.
Easily,
Easily he can come back. But the thing is, like, the way this season went for him in that role that they had to take, let's say this. Let's say they had home field advantage and they got it, or they went and lost. I could see him coming back. Just the road he had to take to get here.
3 road wins.
If he wins 3 road wins, your only home game of the postseason is the Super Bowl.
So awesome.
And you can walk out with your 7th ring in 10 Super Bowls. A 70% win percentage in the Super Bowl?
Doesn't get better than that.
Like, what more?
And not just a 70%. That's 7 out of 10.
Man, 7 out of 10. Like, what more? It's not that he has what more he needs to prove. It's just like, if I'm coming back, I'm just coming back because I want to have fun.
But you could say that this year too. Like, the whole reason, like, he already has his Super Bowl rings, nothing else to prove. Greatest of our all time, arguably. He didn't have to go to Tampa Bay to try to restart a whole organization and get him there. But you know what? It's Tom Brady. He did it.
But he did that. He did that to give the middle finger to the Patriots organization, because.
So why not keep giving it to him?
But he did it in the first year. That's what's crazy.
Right.
The first year. Here's the question that I see a lot on Twitter, and I just saw it in the comments here. If Brady does win and retire, how about Stafford to Tampa?
There's so many potentials for Stafford.
That puts a lot of pressure on Stafford.
Yeah. I wouldn't
want that job. I don't want to follow Tom Brady.
You got to follow Tom Brady after he just won a Super Bowl? Hell
Especially
no.
when you look at, I mean, listen, nobody's comparing Tom Brady to Matthew Stafford ever. I mean, they're both elite quarterback. Matthew Stafford's an elite quarterback, stat-wise, probably up on par around there.
I love how you're trying to work this.
But it's just when you look at Matthew Stafford coming into this role, like, Tom Brady just comes in one season, wins the Super Bowl, and is out. Like, that's not where I want Matthew Stafford to go to fill in.
No, and that's a crazy amount of pressure. And then if you don't live up to it next year, it's like I don't want that job after Tom Brady leaves. Like, look at Cam Newton this year. He was serviceable, but he ain't Tom Brady.
But does anyone have more ambition and motivation than Tom Brady? Like, what else does he have to prove? I think of, like, legends.
It's in here.
It is.
That's the
what
battle
else?
he's fighting.
And that's the thing. He'll get up the day after the Super Bowl, maybe have a couple vacation days in his nice mansion, but then there's a chance that he goes back to work. Like, that's crazy to me. You've already done everything.
He said he wants to play till 45.
And who's going to stop him? That's the thing. Nobody's going to stop him. You know, I was watching him talking about being named the captain at Michigan, and he said to this day that is the most high honor he's ever received playing football, because the group of men around him voted for him, even though he wasn't the most athletic, he wasn't like the true leader of the team, but his work ethic, his intelligence, and how he treated people is what put him in that position. And so it's really, I don't think it's about the rings for him. I think it's all in here. He still carries that weight of being pick 199 or whatever the hell he was, 6th round draft pick. He still carries the weight of being underestimated, which I know, Joey, you and I both feel that pain sometimes. Like, we love being underestimated, but you also hate it. It's like, dude, like, stop. Like,
but that's a part of who you are.
Yeah, and
you will
pushes
always
you to be
have
great.
something to prove.
Yep.
To not the world, just to yourself.
Right.
Mitch in the comments says, Joey, how does Tom shirtless sound to you?
I ain't gonna lie, Tom Brady, sexiest man in America.
He really is. Like, no joke.
I mean, are we gonna pull up that combine picture
Yeah,
again?
not that
Like,
picture.
that's Tom Brady shirtless when I think Tom Brady shirtless.
Pull a picture of him shirtless next to like Giselle or something. That'll be a lot better.
And we're talking about he's supposedly have fallen off. This is I'm looking at the numbers from this season. This is actually his best season since 2016.
Is it really?
4,633 yards and passing and 40 touchdowns? Damn.
That doesn't surprise me, though. Bruce Arians' offense is a lot more wide open than Bill Belichick's ever has been. But yeah, like, once he learned to throw those downfield passes, they took off.
Yeah, and
I'm sorry. Joey's
got a better picture. Joey's just gazing right now. Here, let me
See,
go.
I'm more into the abs though, so I need a little bit of a zoom out on that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I can be your hero, baby.
All right, I gotta take it off.
It's distracting all of us, Art.
Joey, don't look. The comments are crazy.
Come on, that's one thing we all could agree on. Corey, come on, stand up for me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to leave you hanging like you left me hanging back in the day.
Shout out to our Eastern Michigan little running.
Thank you to everybody that's watching us on Facebook Live right now and commenting, and same thing on YouTube and on Twitter. We appreciate you. Thank you for sharing this, letting people know about the Morning Woodward Show, and letting people know about the Woodward Sports Network. We got Fish's Facts coming up in about 5 minutes. We're going to let Joey kind of calm down.
I need to calm down, and can I just give our people a little advice on something? Because right now, we all know is a time where everybody just wants to kind of figure out their career, figure out what's the next best step for them in their life. Northwesterntech.edu. I just want you to go check out that website. They have a 10.5-month HVAC program, and that's a freaking amazing program. 10.5 months. You say our boy Jonah went there.
Yep.
And look at him and his career and everything that he's accomplished.
Yeah, by the end of this year, you could be, making like a 6-figure job. That's the cool thing about these types of jobs is they get money, man.
Yeah, fat money too. And it's just like you could either take the whole career option of just going to school and then doing it on your own, or you could have an industry like this where you just grind and your success is all in your hands. So northwesterntech.edu. Check them out.
People are asking for other shirtless pics, Art. Do you want to throw up?
Is someone asked for a Tim McGraw shirtless pic? I just hope nobody looks at the searches later and they're like, Art, what are you doing? Like,
it's all good. Just say Adam was in here.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. All right, but yeah, we'll throw up a picture of. You see, to me, I'm not. To me, Tim McGraw looks like leather. Like if leather was a person, it would be Tim McGraw, and I'll prove my point right here. It's not a good look. Look at that. That's leather. That's leather.
Well, how do we get into this?
I don't know. Stick just told me to put up a picture of shirtless Tim McGraw.
You leave Stick out of this, all right?
I'm just doing my job, okay?
Joey, this is your show, man. Shirtless Tuesdays?
I'm down.
You want to take your shirt off right now?
No.
Yo, Joik is going to kill me later for this. Literally, Vinny made a great point. He's like, Joik's going to murder you for this. Yeah.
Oh, I thought you had something you're going to put up. I was like, oh, don't do it like that.
No, not when he's not here, man. You can't do it like that.
What is that? What this show just went off the rails. Look at the backdrop.
Yeah, why are you doing this, Art?
You told me to put it up there.
You seem happier than I did talking about Joik.
So if you haven't been listening to the show today, Joey's been looking at videos of
Joik. Take a picture of Corey with dudes in the background on the screen.
Yeah,
that's all I want.
We'll hide real quick.
That's all I want.
Oh, man. So, can we talk about the Super Bowl one more topic before we get Fish into here? Actually, you know what? Let's go to commercial. Let's get Fish in here to do his facts.
Wow, we were having so much fun.
Yeah, we were.
I was actually going to say a Super Bowl fact real quick.
Well, okay, let's go Corey's facts before we go to break. Then we'll do Fish's facts next.
Today is my sister's 18th birthday, and she was born on Super Bowl Sunday in 2003.
That's fun.
Wow.
Yep.
Who was playing that?
Raiders and Bucks.
Yeah.
The Raiders game, yep.
So, that's it.
What's her name? What's your sister's name?
Yeah.
Happy birthday, Kennedy.
There you go.
Happy birthday, Kennedy.
Yeah, happy birthday, Kennedy. So we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with Mr. Fish and his facts.
I'm looking to bring on another HVAC tech right now.
We are recruiting 5 to 10 techs a month.
We're looking to grow and expand. Every new tech we hire is from Northwestern Tech.
The hands-on training is fantastic.
They're always my first call.
We love hiring Northwestern Tech grads.
They come out trained and ready to work.
Our program is only 10 and a half months, and our next classes are starting soon. So why wait?
I'm looking to hire
Hire a graduate
Of Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
Northwestern Tech.
So every day at 9:50, we love to have Mr. Fish in to give us his facts because Fish watches sports from all around the world, not just the major four that we cover here at the Woodward Sports Network. And yes, we cover all of them, but Fish dives deep. So much so, we didn't get Adam. Did Adam win his bet last night, Fish?
No. Pistons won.
No, the other one that you did.
The soccer bet.
The soccer one.
We'll get to that. That's today.
Oh, that's today's game. So we bet yesterday for today's game. All right,
Correct.
Fish,
We'll get to
what
that.
is your fact?
All right, the fact is Pistons' last win against the 76ers was October 23, 2018.
2018.
Wow.
Damn. So almost 2.5 years since we beat them?
Well,
Wow.
yesterday we got them.
Yes, we did. It was a good win.
It was a
exciting.
great win.
Damn, that's almost 2 years.
And then the 76ers, this is against the Pistons. Their highest win streak is 16.
Oh, I think I remember that era.
66-67.
Yeah, I was not alive. Yeah.
That's good. That's
was that
good
when we were in
you-
Fort Wayne still, or no?
No, that was when it was Detroit and Philadelphia.
Okay.
Oh.
I did go back to when it was Fort Wayne and the Nationals.
Oh, nice.
So I went
So we
back
did go
there.
to the archives.
Yeah,
I went
for those who don't know, the Pistons
deep
started out in
searching.
Fort Wayne.
And then the Pistons win streak against the 76ers is 10. 95-97.
95-97. Okay, I like it.
And then they currently had a 7-game win streak.
The Sixers against us.
And we snapped it.
And we snapped it last night.
So now that means we got to get them for 7 straight, right?
Yeah, well, yes.
All right, Fish, what else you got? I know you wanted to do Fish's bets,
We
too.
have some bets, yeah.
Yeah.
We have some bets.
What's your bets for today?
Well, we got West Brom, Man City. The over-under is 3, or it's actually 2.5. I'm going to go with the over.
Okay.
Yep. I think Man City will score a lot of goals. I don't know. Adam picked West Brom, I think. I don't think they'll win, but if they do win, they're going to need to score at least 2 against City to win.
Okay.
That way, Adam will have a chance. Not
Awesome.
feeling super confident.
So if you win
that
big
one.
on this bet, are you quitting on us, Fish?
No.
Okay, good. Whew.
I don't.
I was going to say,
expect-
give me that phone.
No. He picked Crystal Palace over West Ham, which I actually think is a possibility.
Okay. I have
So-
no idea. You
so
could just be
he
saying
could-
Purple Dragons of the Blue Realm, and I'd be like, oh yeah, they got a shot.
They sound good.
He could very well win some money.
Awesome. Well, I hope Adam wins because he said he's gonna take it out on you if he loses.
Nah, that was gonna happen. That was gonna happen anyway.
You can take him. I got your back.
Yeah, we got your back, Fish.
The other one more. Arsenal Southampton, a draw.
Okay.
I'm calling a draw.
Wow, what are the odds on that? Pretty crazy.
Yeah, pretty. I mean, not too crazy, but you'll win some money on that.
All right, good. Yeah, draws a weird prediction.
Yeah.
But all right, those are your Fish's bets.
You're not a fan of ties, are you?
No, I'm not.
I hate ties in sports. That's the worst thing in the world.
I hate ties in the NFL.
Yeah. And just period, all the way around. I don't
Right.
want. I play the game to see a winner. I don't play a game to see two guys like, hey, we did
Here's
okay.
your participation
we're,
trophy.
We're average together.
Right.
So thank you, Fish, for your facts. We appreciate those every morning at 9:50 right here on the Morning Wood Show. And I got to give a shout out to Grow Green MI for thanking them for everything that they've done for us here at the Woodward Sports Network. Not only did they donate to Stuff a Studio, but they've been a great sponsor for us. So if you're looking for anything to get sent your way, grow-wise, I'm talking, we're talking nutrients, we're talking soil, we're talking pots, we're talking lights, anything that you need. We're actually getting new studio lights in here, and Grow Green may actually be supplying us with those lights. So go to growgreenmi.com today or give them a call. Mention that you heard them on Woodward Sports, and you'll get a free t-shirt, and give them a shout out and show them some love. Whatever you do, show Grow Green some love, because they've shown a lot to us.
And you're supporting local in doing so. So it's a win-win right there.
Yep. Joey, you ready for your dumbass of the day?
Yes, sir.
All right, let's get it.
So we are going to an Oregon man on this one. Another stolen vehicle from a grocery store parking lot. But this time there was an actual 4-year-old kid in the back seat.
Of a stolen car?
Of a stolen car. So who do you think's the dumbass on this one?
The parents?
The parent.
And the person who stole the car?
So the parent. And I'm going to be a mom shamer on this one, and I never want to be a mom shamer, but you don't leave your kids in the vehicle. You just don't do that.
I mean,
but this was actually
you need a pack of cigarettes,
Not a 4-year-old, though. 5, okay, but not 4-year-old. So this good thief actually went in the store to shame this mom and return the kid, and then drive off with this vehicle.
So he stole the car. He's like, listen, bitch, I tried to steal your car, and there's a kid in here. You're irresponsible.
Here's your kid. You're an irresponsible mom. Teaches him how to be a better mom, and then says, you know what, I'm taking the whip with me.
That's hilarious.
That's great.
So he dropped off the kid and still stole the car?
Yes.
A thief with morals.
Yeah, it's good to see.
Honestly, mom got to just give up that car. You can't even call 911 on this, because it's a great situation.
Art, can you crank up the sound effect real quick so I can hit that dumbass?
It is cranked.
Dumbass, you dumbass.
Mom.
You're a dumbass. Such a dumbass.
You're an ass.
Yes.
So, thank you guys for waking up with the Morning Woodward Show this morning. We'll be back on tomorrow at 8 a.m. We got to thank Dave Birkett from the Lions for hopping on. That was really cool to get some insight from him.
Have any of you guys ever met him? I never met him.
Never met him before.
Yeah.
Got to thank Joey for bringing up shirtless men all morning. And we got to thank Tag Team for doing one of the greatest commercials of all time. Scoop, there it is. Thank you, guys. We'll be back on tomorrow, 8 a.m. Baligian and Bell up next on the Woodward Sports Network starting at 11 a.m. See you later.